So what's going on, guys? How you doing? Welcome to another Monday. Welcome to another streaming session for a game that is actually getting... Whoop, wait, I'm... Mute side. Sorry about that. Yeah. So, good weekend. Hope you guys had a good weekend. And let me start off the broadcast by saying Happy New Year. Happy New Year's Eve for those of us that are still waiting. For those of you that may have already hit the new year. Happy 2019. Gotta get used to writing 2019 instead of 2018. That's probably like a month or two before I stop writing 2018. But, how you guys doing? How's it going? So, good news for me. I was working away over the weekend and made some really good headway. One of the key things I was able to do was to get, Google Play to behave properly. So I'm really thrilled about that. And sorry. I also came up with a better way of demonstrating. One of the things I talked about was the fact that because I am developing an Android, I had no simple way of actually showing on the screen. But check this out. Boom. There's my Android. So it's kind of a convoluted system, but I actually have it set up now where my little tablet here, I got it broadcasting to a little HDMI receiver that feeds into a game capture device and into the stream. So, like I said, convoluted, but it is working. It is a little laggy. It's a couple seconds behind, but it's working, man. So, no major gripes. So, the nice thing is that I can also finally do some proper Android development, right? And do some builds and stuff like that on the fly. The key thing is sort of like when I'm doing, especially like the Google Play stuff, right? When I want to demonstrate some changes and that kind of thing. Because obviously the editor doesn't simulate, or it doesn't even have any kind of connection to Google Play. So having a real tablet here is going to help me at least to do that while I'm streaming. So yeah, you know what? I'll start off with a little show and tell here. There it goes. So, oh yeah, and I put the new logo in there finally. I might adjust the scaling on that, but that's something I can address whenever. So, and it takes a second. There it goes. So if you check that out, if you see the top there, it says, yeah, Scary Robot Games. Look at that. This is one thing I want to work on probably today, is just showing the actual name. And I like it when it just says, the Scary Robot Games, and then of course you see the underscore and the ID. That's the that is my player number assigned to that person. So I want to split that up, because if you want to search for a friend now, you won't search for the name, you'll actually search for the name underscore and the ID. So I'm going to set that up. You can actually see, I'll hide this for a second. You can see I started to play with that. I'm going to get that set up here shortly. So I'll have that properly done. But the cool thing is some of the issues I was having before was I could do things where I could log into, initially into Google Play, but then it would lose it when I would try and come back or reload, or even worse if I try to switch, because you have the option of playing as a guest, right, or playing logged in Google Play, right? And when I was switching between them, it broke like crazy, but I'm happy to say that this is behaving now. So I hit log out, and you can see this, like I said, lag. So yeah, okay, we're logged out. So if I come up here and I say go online, it's gonna load back up. And then I can choose as Google Play or as guest, right? So if I hit guest, you'll see it's 1290, so it's a different user number. So that's working correctly. So in essence, you could have the equivalent of two different accounts on your device. You can have the guest account and the Google Play account. The downside about a guest account, of course, is that it is limited to that device and it's not really saved. Because it is a one-time guest account, if you reset your device or delete the data off of there, the guest account is gone, right? So in any kind of purchases or any kind of stuff you built up, that's gone as well. And because it is just a guest account that's arbitrarily created, there's no way for me to retrieve it for the player. So that's the that's the benefit of the Google Play, is that hey, Doomwide, he's back. What's up, Doomwide? How you doing, man? Good weekend? Yeah, so I was just showing off the fact that I actually have the ability to show Android right now on the screen. So this is my Android embedded right there. And I was demonstrating the fact that I got my Google Play stuff hammered out over the weekend. So you can see right now I'm in guest mode. But if I log out, I'll bounce out and then I'll come back. Boop. And log in as a Google Play user. And then of course for iOS I would have a Game Center. Right? So I hit that. Boom. It says logging in. And there it is. And it comes up. So I'm thrilled. I actually got that working. All right, and then another thing would happen too is if all this stuff is initialized, right? Because that's all don't destroy on load. So if it came back, it would not load up correctly. But now you'll see, boom, it fires up and then instantly shows that. So you're connected to Google Play from that point on. So really happy about that. That was some major tinkering over the weekend, but dialed in, and if we come back to my true to-do list, you'll actually see that there you go. Google Play is no longer the oops, let me hide that. It's covering everything. So yeah, my Google Play is no longer listed as a to-do. I've bumped that off the list. I'm really thrilled about that. That was a headache, man. That one's been scaring me for a long time. But whipped it, beat it. It's behaving now, so hooray. And as I was saying in the setup, I noticed. I'll bring this back up again. Fire that back up. There you go. As you can see, at the top there, it says just the name. So the first thing I want to do is make some adjustments on that, and then you can see that's what I started to play with here. So I'll have a player name and a. Sorry, let me call this. I'll call this player name, and then I'll call this one player ID. So you can actually tell people what your ID is so they can find you. So that's what I'm going to start with first thing. Get started. How's it going, Doomwide? How was the weekend? Anything exciting? Revolutionary? Go see movies? Do anything fun? Pretty quiet weekend for me, but that's actually a pretty good thing. Went bowling with some friends on Friday. That was always nice. Haven't bowled in, oh man, probably, I don't know, years if not decades. So I had to remember how to do that stuff again. Came back to me eventually. Mind dropping the link again for me to download the game. Absolutely. And I have not updated it because these things were crucial. So I do not have that updated, but I promise very soon. So I'll send you the link right here. And thanks for asking. There you go. Yeah, I'm always supposed to do that when I start it. I should always post all the links. So there is, if you're an Android user, you can download a version of Farley Village from Google Play right now. It is beta, getting close to being done. A really, really rock solid beta, I hope. But the version that's currently there is a bit dated. It's about a month and a half old now. And I am just right on the edge of updating it. I just want to get a couple of these things finished up, but then I'll do that. So also, since I'm going ahead and do my links, as always, if you guys want to say hello to me offline when I'm not streaming, there is my Discord channel. So if you want to join me on Discord, that is where you can find me. And of course, if you want to check out my website and my other games, you can find it right here at scaryrobot.com. And last and least, as I always say, because I am not a big user, but I do have one, and that is the Twitter account right there. So you can always try and chat me up there, although you're going to have a much better chance of hitting me up on Discord for sure. Discord I pretty much have 24/7, but not so much, yeah, Discord, it's not so much the Twitter. I know I got tons of friends that you know, tweet every 4 seconds, but yeah, mine's every 4 years, I think, so... So, anyways, so let's jump in here. What do you say? So the first thing I'm going to have to do is, when it actually displays this stuff, is show it properly. So, and I'm probably not going to be able to do that until I move it over to the Android device. That's fine. Oh, and by the way, one of the things you might have seen, too, is I'm dropping in the old frames per second there, just so I can keep track of that. A couple things to point out. Number one, the key thing is that this is an old... Lenovo. It's a few years old, and even when I got it, it was considered mid-range at best. And the other thing that's also really important is the fact that I have that nice, you can see the kind of the transparency of the water, and you can see the edge of the island going downward, as well as the foam that hits the edge. And that's all requiring a depth check, and that can kill the frame rate on some of the older devices. So that is another thing that I'm hoping to tackle today, is to create a setting in options that will allow you to turn that little water feature off for older, slower devices, and it gets you a 15 and 20 frame boost. So that, yeah, let's see if I bring up 2-player. Do I have that turned? Yeah, that's on. So, you know, I mean, still 22 isn't terrible for what is a super old device, but I would like that to be much better. So I will offer that as an option for people that want frame rate over quality if they have an older device. Haven't done much. Someone who was like a mother to my girlfriend passed away, so she's out in Jersey. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I've just been reading and listening to music. Well, that sounds like a good weekend. Just reading books or just reading magazines. I admit I don't really have the time to devote to reading books, so I end up just doing a lot of audiobooks. I do a ton of them. My wife has one of those Audible subscriptions, and yeah, between the two of us, we have a ton of them. So Audible I can do if I'm animating or doing something that is less brain intensive, but when I'm coding, I can't do audiobooks at all. But yeah, as terms for like actual old school, like busting out the pages and reading, I really just don't devote the time to it. About as much as I do to actually taking time to play video games too. So, but no, that's cool, man. That's a fine way to spend the weekend. Yeah, and for me too, I always have a music soundtrack going. I always have music playing. This is just sort of like Twitch friendly music, so this isn't necessarily my general choice for what I'd normally listen to. But let me shut this down. Hold on. So turn this off here. Nope. There it goes. Audible sounds nice. Haven't tried it yet. Highly recommend it. Especially, you know, because as I mentioned before, I get those freelance jobs back in LA from time to time, and you know, it's a 4-hour drive, 4.5 depending on traffic, and LA always has traffic. So it's one of the things that I get a good audiobook, right? And I put it on the phone, hit play, and I've literally had some times when I've gotten into town, I'm kind of like going, oh man, you know, because it's like I'm enjoying the book so much that it's like I want to keep listening to the book, which is always a great sign. Excuse me. And it's pretty reasonable price, I think. I mean, if you just go buy audiobooks on CDs from, you know, Amazon or bookstore, that kind of stuff, they're not cheap. But if you do through Audible, you know, it's actually pretty, you know, pretty inexpensive, I think, for the amount of entertainment you get. I mean, the trick is I mean, we always get books that are at least like 15 hours long, so it feels like you're getting your money's worth. But not sometimes, Audible always has these sales, and they'll drop prices to like $5 sometimes. And that one is like, yeah, okay, there's an impulse buy, so you get a ton of books. So, yeah. Excuse me. And it's nice because you can listen to the readers, because that's the crucial thing. Whoever's doing the narration, you want to make sure that you can stand listening to them, you know, kind of like me, you know, for hours on end, right? But yeah, I mean, if you like the way the person's reading, then, and if the book sounds interesting and the reviews look good, you know, you got yourself some hours worth of entertainment. All right. So then what I should get started here is, do I have, yeah, I do. Let me bring up, hide that for a second, hide him. Let's come to the main menu. Oops, grabbed the wrong thing. Put that back in place. Let me drag that up a little bit. Okay. So, let's see, we want to find who this guy is actually. Player info menu. Alright, so there's name, that's already there, and player ID. Alright, and make sure I got the right ones selected. Here's my main menu script with way too much crap on it. I know, that's ugly, but it was a combination of inexperience combined with you know, as I said before, evolutionary development of the game. So, and a total lack of interest in splitting it all up. Does Audible try to stand apart with their own voice talent, or do they just provide any audiobook? That's a good question. I think it's sort of the standard audiobook that you'd find on CD. They may have some exclusives, but generally speaking, I think it's just the same thing you normally hear on the CDs. I think they have like a small group, you know, that are sort of like the ones that do a good chunk of it. You know, they're just, you know, standard voices that are fantastic. But you know, sometimes you'll find ones too that Will Wheaton actually does a bunch of those books. And the funniest ones, he does John Scalzi, who has these great series of books. Red Shirt is absolutely hysterical. And I love the fact that at one point, not bad, just curious. Yeah, and I mean, every now and then you hear one, right? I mean, sometimes you listen to a reader and it sounds like they're just completely, you know, like they took a handful of Quaaludes right before they started reading, you know, and you kind of go, yeah, no, right? But as I was saying, Will Wheaton did all these John Scalzi books, and at one point in the book, it actually references Will Wheaton. So it's kind of a weird, you know, bizarre, you know, meme kind of thing where you have Will Wheaton, you know, reading a fictional character talking about himself, you know. But yeah, I mean, depending on what kind of stuff you like, you know, go cost nothing to actually go to the website and just listen to some of the samples, right? And just, you know, and look at all the books that are available. You know, my wife and I, we have some total favorites too, right? And we get excited when new versions come out. Of course, in particular, The Expanse, the whole series of Expanse novels, which, you know, the TV series, once again, I know I rave about it, but I think it's so fantastic. So all those books, whenever a new one comes out, man, we always get excited. We can't wait. And then some of the books are great, some are not so great in the Expanse series, but I have faith that this TV series will do a better job of actually stepping it up and making it a fantastic show anyways. So, but I digress. Sorry about that. But yeah, I do actually really love The Expanse. Alright, I'll try and get that on my system right now. What do you say? So what I need to do is find out where these guys are buried. It's in the info section. Up in here. Player name. Oh, good. I did get that right. So ID text. Good. Alright, so in this case, if it's a guest, the player name will be identical to the player ID. But when we get into the things like either Google Play or Game Center, then the username will be somewhat different than the player ID. So let me just go ahead and do a global search on this guy. Oh good, I only have in one place. That's nice, convenient. No, so local username, that should be right. Player ID. Let me check, because I just revised how I was producing this, so let me make sure I get this right from the get-go. Let's see. That's a little loud. Pull it down a little bit. Okay. Social? There it goes. When someone says they've read a book, do you think it's fair to say you have too, if it's an audiobook? I'll say that I will correct myself if I say, oh yeah, I read that book, and I went, well, okay, I listened to an audiobook. I will completely own up. I will not lay claim to plowing through a book that I've listened to. So I'll say it sometimes, and then I will instantly correct myself. I mean, it's foolish. I don't know if it really matters that much. But, you know, yeah, I do. Because, honestly, I mean, my biggest thing is just I do not have the time to devote to reading books. And to be honest, I was never a tremendous reader. I mean, I don't really have a ton of patience for things. I like things to go quick. You know, Once again, like animation, I talked about that. The fact that I never basically worked on movies, one of the key reasons is because I don't have the patience to work on a single shot in a movie that goes for months, you know, whereas television, you know, it just goes like this, you know, and it's just, for me, it helps with my lack of patience, I think. I can relate. Yeah. Okay. So, set string. Let's see. Username is equal to that. Social local user. Then what I want to find is the. Actually, it should be in a couple different places. No, it isn't. Oh, it must be on Kombu side. Let me check over there. Some of the stuff I split up, so it's on the main menu. Some of it's in this Kombu. Yeah, registers Android. Oh, wait. Kind of this labyrinth. Where it kind of ping pongs back and forth. I know it's ugly. I know it's ugly, and it's. Had I known exactly where all this was going, I would have mapped it out much better. But because this kind of evolved over the last couple of years, it's not pretty. Yeah, I accept that. Alright, here we go. So that's guest ID. So let's see. Alright, so I'll do a check, and I'll say if it's. Yeah, if we're logged in as guest, then I'll pull the guest stuff, which would be guest ID, and I'll just repeat that. Otherwise, villager ID, and then, okay, username. Alright, so that should work. Alright, try this. Oops. Jerk. Thought I went up a line. Okay. See, equal to player ID, and this would be player name. And then we go like that. I think that should actually work. Okay, oh, not. Come on, manager, local user. Okay, what do you not like here? That looks good to me. What are you not happy with? Oh, I got a parenthesis in there? Is that what you don't like? Yep, that was it. Okay. So, once we come over here and show. Oops. There we go. So what I need to do is figure out if this is a player using a guest account or if it's actually using the Google Play account. So we'll say let's see a good login. Login choice. There it goes. There. So if he is, let's see, this is guest. So get string is equal to a guest. This would be else this guy. There. You know, actually I could just do it this way, because the name should be the same on both, just the player ID is going to be different. So I can delete that. him, I just go like that. Oops. Alright. What do you not like there?
Game over. Thank you so much for playing my game.
What did I miss? Oh, that's set string. Yeah. I went get string there. That's a mistake. No, actually I don't need that. Alright. Should be guest ID. Say that's guest ID, and we'll get that string. Ah! Okay, so that's good. We'll get the guest ID. And I won't put a value in there since it should be pulling something off of there. And just play safe in case it finds nothing. Although that should never happen. But I'll leave it in there just to be safe. Okay. I say ID not found. There you go, that's nice and clean. Let's see. Oh, wait. That's okay. So we're gonna get that plus villager ID. Okay. There we go. Okay, so it should be all good there. Let me hide the player info menu. Turn the main menu back on. Oops. I'm sorry, I had that running the whole time, didn't I? Oh, jeez. I apologize about that. I was not aware that I still had the Android screen up on top there. I'm sorry. -1 for me for not paying attention. Okay. Okay, so once this comes up, you're in guest account. So if you hit this, it should say player name guest 1245, player ID guest 1245. Obviously, nothing changes there because the guest account just is the same on both ends. So now what we can do is bump this off. All right. What else are you planning on implementing in the game, or is this the final product pretty much in terms of modes? Yeah, absolutely. At least for the initial release, this is going to be it. I thought about maybe coming back and revisiting the idea of doing like a one player career mode kind of thing, you know, with different novelty kind of things, but that would be further down the line. That would be completely based upon what the game does. Mode-wise, nothing much will change. Island theme-wise, hopefully, if the game has any level of success, then I'll start adding additional islands that you can unlock over time. But no, for actual gameplay, what you see is pretty much what it's going to be. So let me do this. Let me go File, Run. There we go. So now I'm firing up the Android version. So it's doing the build, and once that finishes and it actually goes over to the Android, I fire up that screen. So what I want to do now is just check to make sure that the Google Play is displaying properly, which I can't do in the editor. I can't demonstrate that. So, yeah, please, dude, offer your thoughts, man. I'm all ears. Please do. I take all feedback and comments and criticisms. Doesn't mean I'll necessarily agree with them, but a lot of times I usually do. So yeah. Tell me what you're thinking, man. It needs more cowbell. Is that what you're going to say? I got a fever. and the only cure is more cowbell. There we go. It's just about done. Boom, boom, boom. Build is almost, there it goes. Okay, so we're sending it over. So at this point, I'll go ahead and pop up the Android, and the build, it's moving over to the device right now, and as soon as it finishes, it'll pop up. So as I mentioned before, this is a Lenovo Tab 2, kind of an old machine. Wasn't that high end when I got it a couple of years ago. It was definitely mid-range, so I like it just because if I can make it run okay on this, then that's a good sign that I will be able to have it running on pretty much any regular machine. Alright, so one sec, let's check this out. We should come up as that's logging into Google Play, and there it goes, and we hit this. Hopefully it says Scary Robot Games on top, and it doesn't. Oh, that's not good. Okay, so the name is actually getting, ew. Interesting, so I'm embedding the underscore and the ID into the name. Crap. Okay. That's strange. I have to look that up on the web page, see if it's doing that. It's fun, it's decent, just worried that without, like you said, more single-player content, it kind of falls flat. Think about the fickle people who will try the game. Will they have the patience to try out the multiplayer? What incentive is there for them to keep launching your game? Just food for thought. No, and once again, since I already threw it out there, saying that that is something that I would consider, absolutely, and that could be the case. A couple of the games that I use as sort of my templates, my references, have 0 single-player elements to it. And one of them in particular has 150 million downloads. So there is existing precedence. Whether or not I find that same audience that is okay with just a multiplayer kind of aspect, either local, you can play on the same device, of course, or online, that's a good question. I'm not sure. But yeah, like I said, if the game gets any kind of traction, then I will definitely consider a one-player mode as well. But just for this initial release, I've been so focused on the multiplayer, I just don't think it's worth stopping down on getting it out the door just to embed a whole new single-player career mode yet. But yeah, something I would definitely consider. Because then it's not only a matter of trying to create all the content for that, right? Which would be sizable too, because then it's not just a matter of 2 islands. Then I have to mix it up. I mean, I have to, with multiplayer, I have to have the 2 islands, so the gameplay is always consistent, right? You know what you're matching up against. But for a single player mode, there would definitely have to be all kinds of different themes, different enemies to face off against. So that's something that, and then I'd have to try and set up the whole monetization system. How am I going to make money off of that? What kind of methodology should I use? There's other games obviously to reference, but just to implement all that stuff is going to be a big time sink. So I guess sort of consider this as a test, I guess. If the game does find a decent audience, and then I would love to come back and start adding a single player component. But just at least on the initial release, I'm going to stick with my guns and just 20 frames per second. Okay, and that was actually, yeah, if you see this here, 22, right? So, but check this out. So if we do this, let me come back in here. Let's go main camera. Boom, boom. All right, so I'll show you the difference then. So yeah, you saw this thing. So if I run 2-player, right? Ocean. So this is something I want to set up before I send it out. I was thinking about doing it after the beta, but after I send it out to beta testing, but I may do it right before I do it. So yeah, you can see here we're at 23, right? Your audience will grow with a locked. Well, and then that's what I was going to show you here. So let me turn this off. So I'm going to have 2 different water modes, right? You know, this one is the super fancy water. You know, you can see like the, you know, the edge, you know, the foam and the depth and all that kind of stuff. If we actually turn that feature off, right, and then let me, you know, I'll just send it back out here again. So you remember the current one that I was demonstrating on my little Android device was 22, but I'll send this back out. And I'm going to have this set up in the menu system where you can toggle which one you want to choose between, right? So, give us a minute to do another build. So, the depth, you know, that little, where you can see through the water, the transparency and that foam. Hawk, by the way, how's it going, man? Sorry, we got into that whole discussion and didn't even get to say hello. How's it going, Hawk? Thanks for coming around again. So yeah, the combination of the foam and the depth, that plugin I'm using to accomplish that effect is doing a depth check all the way through the screen, right? And that adds a ton of draw calls, right? And can significantly affect the frame rate. So I'll show you here, once this thing finishes and spits out to the Android tablet again. I'm doing really good, man. As I was saying, I spent a chunk of my weekend trying to get the Google Play stuff finalized, and that's all working nicely. So I'm very happy with that. So, yeah, it was a weekend well spent. Nothing too elaborate, nothing too fancy, but just plugged away on all this stuff. And then, yeah, started dabbling in the whole idea of what can I do to make that frame rate a little prettier. And the simple solution, at least initially, is having the water feature. You know, you can either have the less fancy water without the foam, without the depth, excuse me, and without the transparency, which I'll show you here as soon as it finishes transferring over. I'll switch the Android back on. Oh, and that's another thing too, is I kind of got the slick little setup where I can show my Android tablet on here now. It's convoluted as crap. It's actually, the Android is sending signal to a little HDMI receiver, right? And the HDMI is feeding into a game capture card, and that's coming into my stream. But, you know, it is messy, but it is working. So, if you remember before, when I was doing 2-player, it was like 22, right? So if I hit this, let's see where we're at now. There. So now I'm at 43, right? So, I mean, literally, I mean, that's a near double of the frame rate. And you guys can tell me. I mean, you can see the difference here. The water, the transparency is gone, right? And the little foam effect is gone. But the benefit is now the game is just flying in terms of frame rate now, right? So, I mean, now you can see it's just much more fluid, right? So, and I mean, visual aesthetics, it's not that much of a change. I don't think it's like that much. You don't look at it and kind of go, oh, wow, now it looks like crap. No, it's, you know, it's not as pretty, you know, not having that little transparency in the water. But if it gains you literally 20 frames, you know, on older devices, then I think it's actually a fine solution to make the game run faster. So that's the game plan. That's on my to-do list here. If you see my what I want to accomplish today, I was just starting to work on setting up player name and player ID in the info window, which is what I was just doing a second ago, and the toggle water setting. So I'll add that to the menu. If you play on a PC, how many frames are you getting? Oh, that's that I can show you too. Here you go. Boop. I can fire that up right here. Yeah, almost 200. Let's see what we got. Yeah, around 200. A little faster. A little bit of a difference there, right? That is a silky smooth 200. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty good. And I'm sure there's probably some little tweaks that I can go back in. You know, I reached that level of diminishing returns. How much I want to put into getting just like, you know, little bits of frame rate here and there. Oh, that's bad. Actually, I'm hitting the plus there and it's losing it, isn't it? Oh, I'm gonna have to look at that. I'm gonna have to address that. Check it out. So if you're dragging your finger and you hit there, the plus takes over. So I'm gonna have to fix that because I'm literally not gonna be able to hit that thing. Nope, probably not. Nope. Okay, that's a glitch. That's funny. That's really funny. Okay, that's a good thing to add to my list. So I gotta figure out how to deal with that. Because the button is overriding. Excuse me. Ooh. Huh. Hadn't even thought about that before. I guess I could take the button and throw it down to the bottom. Right? Down here. So, I mean, you can, like, never hit that. I wonder how PUBG works on mobile. On PC, people get, like, 30 frames with all low settings. Really? Well, I mean, but then it has an insane draw call, right? I mean, that thing, you know, you can see to, like, off to the horizon. And I mean, I'm just, like, looking straight down at these islands, so... And, I have nothing in terms of the quality level that PUBG has, for sure. But, no, that's a good question. I don't know. My guess is they probably have a couple of different tricks. Maybe something to do with the way they display the models. Maybe there's mobile versions of the models. A ton of LOD effects, I'm sure, to try and knock down the frame rates, or knock down the poly counts for distant buildings and stuff like that. But that's a good question. Luckily, something I've not had to face with my game so far, but I'm sure once I drop the camera down and I'm showing more of the horizon, that is something that I will have to be dealing with as well on a future title, but at least not yet. But so anyways, yeah, so you guys could tell me. I mean, honestly, offer your thoughts. The water effect, I mean, does that bug you? You know, the fact that let's see, I think I can actually switch this out on the fly. Or at least, where's my... Alright, just come back out and switch it. So you guys can tell me if you think that water effect is that different, or if it's just like, yeah, I don't think it's enough to, like, make an issue out of it. Alright, let me turn the main camera. And so this is the key thing right here, right? This is the render depth. That's the thing that's really killing the frame rate, because it's having to do a depth check all the way across the whole screen. But, it makes it pretty. I think it's fine. There you go. Hey, that's the answer I was looking for. Fletcher King. Hey, man. Welcome. The island looks like it's floating because the waves all come in at the same time from every angle. Okay. Well, that was with the base water. Okay, so that was the simplified water. So check this one out. Let me hide this. So this is what it looks like normally when you play the game. So now you can see the foam on the edge, and I think that actually sells it a lot better. I think something that would make me as a gamer come back is, for example, the current theme you have for the island. If you had 3 more and call it a tier and have them share the current theme but scale the AI difficulty, it would stand alone as a solid start. Yeah, valid argument. And something that I could consider once again after release, but it's just because, so like the characters alone, right? The villagers, I have 5 different characters, 5 different villagers, and each one of those has like, I think 19 different animations. So once you start thinking about different island themes, and that's just the villagers. Also the launchers, they have their own animations as well. So it ends up realistically a new island with different characters. Not even changing the island theme. I'm not even talking about the buildings, but just the villagers alone is about a month to a month and a half worth of work, probably closer to 2 months, because that also includes the designing of the characters and the modeling, the texturing, the rigging, and the animation, as well as just, adding all the code and wiring it all up. So it's, while it's something that I definitely want to visit for sure, and I mean, create tons of additional content, it's just at this point, I'm going to keep this, as you see it, I think, for the initial release. Excuse me. So, but yeah, so this is sort of like the pretty version of the water. You can see the depth and that kind of thing. Do you do animation in Unity or Blender? Neither. Actually, I use Maya LT right here. I've been using Maya for a ton of years. I still, on my animation jobs, I still get freelance animation work, and it's always with Maya. I get Maya LT because it's a ton cheaper. Maya proper rents for $185 a month. Maya LT is $20 a month. So I am much more partial to this. It is an animation tool that's designed specifically for game development because it allows you to export FBX animations, but it doesn't allow you to render anything. So yeah, so if I do like, here's the ogre. All right, so this is it. I've been using Maya for at this point decades. So I mean at least for at least 18 years full time. So it's just I know it so well, and I can just work quickly with it. But I mean, if I was just starting out now and obviously on a limited budget, then yeah, Blender I think would be a fine choice. No issues with Blender at all. I mean, I love the fact that it's open source. Yeah, so that's what I was just saying. For someone that hasn't devoted as much time as I have to another package like I have with Maya, then absolutely, man, I have no bad things to say about Blender. Just the fact that, you know, I don't want to learn a whole new 3D software when I'm already pretty much proficient in this one, you know. So for me, it's nice that I would not have to pay for it, but I would find myself at the bottom of the learning curve again and trying to, you know, get up to speed fully to where I am with Maya. For me, it's just not really viable. But absolutely, for anyone that's starting out, if anyone ever says, hey, what do you think about getting started with Blender? I go, yeah, absolutely, man. Not an issue with that whatsoever, right? I mean, it's free. Download it, give it a play. If it works for you, then you're all set. So Fletcher King, I hope this answers your question about the water kind of looking like it makes it look like the islands are sinking up and down. Now with the combination with the transparency and also the foam hitting on the edges, I hope that sells it better. And this is the pretty version. Yeah, I mean, you can see even on the PC, it knocks down the frame rate by a few frames, but on Android devices, it can actually knock it by almost as much as 50%. So that's what I'm going to work on if I have time today, is I'll work on a feature that allows you in the options menu to toggle if you want the water to be pretty or fast, you know. So as I was showing here, so this is now, this is the unpretty water, but you see it's actually running at 43 frames a second. But if I turn that water back into this with the foam and the depth, then that number drops around 20. So depending on the device, you know, if you have a peppier kind of newer Android device or iOS device, then you can still do fine with this, but that'll be up to you. All right. So what I was doing though is, let me quit out of here. All right, now pop this up one more time. Here it comes. All right, so this is working nicely. As I was mentioning earlier, just getting all the Google Play stuff integrated, which that's all nice. And I'm working on this, and this is kind of broken, which I just set up. So what I didn't realize is that I embedded the underscore ID into the username. I thought I did that the ID, but not the username. So let me find out where that is. Quickest way is if I just kind of cheat and do it this way. That should only come up with a couple of them. So username, okay. Yeah, I am doing it right there. Crud. Username. I wonder if I just actually knock that out. Okay. How do you handle the copyright stuff? Well, I mean, like, what copyright stuff? Because everything I'm pretty much doing is my own original stuff or licensed items that I purchased through the store. So you have to clarify by what you mean by the copyright stuff. Have you had any family and friends try it out and give you their opinion? Yeah, no, actually, I think I mentioned this before, but I go to comic book conventions. I go to a couple here in Las Vegas. I also go to the San Diego Comic-Con. They're in San Diego. And I set the game up there and let people try it. So, you know, for the last 3 years, I've had, I mean, at this point, hundreds, if not thousands of people play the game in environment. And that is the key thing that has sort of driven what you see now. One of these days, I'll dig out my original prototypes and the earlier editions and show you what the original ones look like. The very first prototype was just 2 islands that were floating up in the air, and I lost that idea that the islands were floating because no one ever registered it. And I didn't want the islands to move up and down, which would sell floating, but then it would change how the AI would have to calculate shots, and I didn't want to do that. But all it was in the beginning was it was a hit meter, right? That would go up and down, right? And you have to aim it and time it right to fire. And that was it. There was no villagers, there was no rebuilding, there was no customization, and it was just hit the buildings, they hit your buildings, and it's game over. And then based off of the feedback over the time, I expanded the game and started adding these other new features and just put it out there. So the last time I did a full-on demo, actually I guess was Comic-Con in July of this year. So that's the last time I demonstrated, but most of the stuff I've been working on since then has been technical fixes and nothing in terms of new features. But so far, the feedback has been tremendous. I mean, everyone seems really on board with it. Actually, what I'm wondering if a copyright is necessary when releasing a game if you made everything yourself. Right. No, and I mean, if you're talking about a copyright as in protecting my own stuff so it doesn't get stolen, that's a whole nother issue. I mean, do I think if the game is successful, do I think it'll get cloned? Absolutely, right? I mean, and I fully expect that if the game does have any level of success, that will happen, and that's fine. There's nothing to stop that from happening. If you're talking about, am I worried about copyrights and the stuff I'm using? No, there's nothing I'm worried about there because, like I said, what you see here has been created by me. The character designs I farmed out to a talented artist named Daniel Thomas, who I paid. So I mean, that's all on the up and up. So aside from that, I'm either using assets that have been licensed or just created by myself. That's why Scary Robot Games is all over the game. There's his copyright. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So I'm not so, yeah. I'm concerned that, I mean, I would hate the idea that someone in some other part of the world does this nefarious thing where they decompile the game and steal all the assets and turn around and upload it themselves. And I know that does happen, and I would really hate for that to happen, but there's not a really simple way of dealing with that short of just requesting the store that holds it to pull it down by showing that, look, this has been stolen from me. But copyright on my side, no. I mean, everything is done. All my music is licensed. All the, any, like, the GUI that I use is all been licensed, and everything else is just original creations. So, some random kid in Vietnam is gonna try. Yeah, and I mean, it's imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, right? So, and I'm less concerned about someone stealing the game and putting up a new version. I'm more concerned about, a King, a Miniclip, or one of these guys kind of going, oh, look at this game. It's, it's a little rough around the edges, but I like the play mechanics. And then, here, take 40 guys and go make a clone of it right now, and let's just put it out there and destroy it. Excuse me. That is, I'm going to try it. There you go. Go for it, man. That scares me much more. That's the thing that could make my game, disappear. But as long as the game has initial level of success, before it gets eviscerated by some juggernaut company, then I'll consider it a successful run. And then hopefully people will kind of go, yeah, Miniclip did their version of it, or King did their own version of it, but did you ever try, the original, Well, if you get attention with the game, what about maybe trying Kongregate? People play their games all day. I would love to. Here's the problem. Kongregate requires WebGL versions, okay? And how's this for a terrible, terrible twist? So my networking tool that I'm using, TShareNet, TNet, doesn't support WebGL multiplayer. And the reason why is because the gentleman that made the plugin has no interest in making a web-based version of his own games. So as a result, he has no interest in adding WebGL to the TesheraNet plugin. So as a result, the only way I could add WebGL is if I actually coded it myself. So unfortunately, the only way I could do a Kongregate version is if I redid all of my multiplayer, which, you know, scares the crap out of me. So yeah, that's unfortunately that's the limitation there. Because I was going to say I've seen games with a Unity extension running on their site, but yeah, if it's going to hurt the networking stuff, yeah, it won't hurt it. It'll just make it not run. You know, it's so unfortunate. Everything else is fine, man. I could just do it. But I could maybe do like oh god, I could say I do an alternate version, but then I'm still gonna have to find an alternate replacement for TesheraNet and revamp all my code just for a WebGL version, which is why, as I mentioned, if you go to my webpage and you try the WebGL version that's on the Valley Village website, that's why there's no multiplayer feature exclusively, because TNet doesn't offer it, you know. So that sucks. It's frustrating, but you know, it's all his. You know, it's his choice. So I'm kind of stuck with that, I'm afraid. Let's see. So if I look at, see if I can find, if I put this in a couple different places. Is it just the one? Good. Okay. So then, I think I'm okay with that. Let me try it that way. Okay, I'm gonna roll the dice on that and say that that's gonna be fine. And let's find out if I'm correct or not, shall we? So I'm gonna do new Android build. Let's see, my battery's down to 69% on my Android. We'll see how long it goes if I run out of time on that. So, yeah, and it's funny because I've actually gone through the entire gamut in terms of multiplayer stuff. I started off using Photon Engine. I had that implemented perfectly and working nicely. My concern with Photon was twofold. Was number one, the actual cost that you are going to face if the game does blow up on you, right? If the game succeeds, you can get in some sizable numbers, and that's fine if the game is generating enough revenue to cover it. But my concern was that, you know, if I don't have a ton of people that are clicking on ads but still playing the game like crazy, you know, then I could have a situation where the more successful the game got, the more money I would be losing potentially, right? And the other issue too with Photon, the thing that scared me about that is, I mean, Photon looks like they're doing great, you know, but there's no guarantee that they won't be gone tomorrow. You know, I've had my own personal experiences. There's an ad network that I was using that was like one of the top ad networks, and, you know, they died overnight. They went out of business, and they took a big chunk of my money with them. So I'm always much more concerned about using third-party plugins that are driving so much of what I'm doing. So that's why I ended up going with, you know, the Kombu and the TesheraNet, because I'm now running those on my own website, you know. So I'm totally in control of that situation. But if Photon dies, guess what? Your multiplayer instantly dies with it, you know. So I mean, and I'm not saying it would, right? I hope Photon stays around for forever, you know. But that's why. Money. Okay. So then I went over to Unet because Unet came out of beta, and then I had tons of issues with that. They may be resolved now, but, well, and they've actually, Unity's already talked about the fact that they're going to be sunsetting Unet now anyways, right? But yeah, so I had an issue with the server not having a consistent time value, and my game is all based on timestamp from the server, so that was a non-starter for me from the get-go. All right, so fingers crossed this looks right, and it's still wrong. What the heck? Oh, because I already generated it, didn't I? Oh, crud. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to actually kill 1288. I forgot about that because when I generated that player name, I just did it wrong right from the get-go. So let me come in here, go username, Scary Robot. There he is. I'm gonna kill that. Delete. Okay. There. Alright, so I just killed that player information. So now when I start up in a fresh one, I should have to log in for the first time, and it'll generate what I believe is a new account, and hopefully it names it correctly. What's that tic-tac-toe? What a perv! No, it's a kid-friendly game. I'll show you that one in a second if you're that curious. Uh-oh. Oh, I gotta clear out my data too, don't I? Because I just nuked that player. Yeah, I'll visit that in a second. Hold on, I promise. No, actually, tic-tac-toe is me recreating a childhood memory. There's a place called Knott's Berry Farm. That's funny, perv. No, my dad took me to Knott's Berry Farm when I was like a 5-year-old kid, and they had this giant booth, right, with a live chicken in this glass case. And you could put a quarter in the machine, and the chicken would walk behind this little thing. This door would open up, the chicken would go behind it, and it would peck, and it would trigger a move. And you were playing, in essence, you were playing tic-tac-toe with the chicken. And I was so enamored with that as a kid that I made my own version of it. But, yeah. And, of course, I made the chicken have a bit of an attitude, so what I'm going to do is clear the data out of there, because that's breaking it like crazy. There we go. Allow. Okay, so let's try this again. So now it should come up and say, hey, do you want to connect? Although actually it should have come up with something there anyways. I'll have to look at that. It should have come up with a go online or something. So probably hit, that's a thing I have to make a note of. Alright, so I'm going to hit Google Play, create a new account. There it goes. And, oops. Oh no, that's not good. Man, I was all happy. It was all working and stuff. Oh, and we hit an error. I can't even read that. Crap! Not as working as I thought it was. What is it? Alright, let me see if it's a one-off or if something really broke. Well, that's bad news. What did I adjust? Gotta move some stuff downstairs. Alright, Doom White, I'll be here, man. I'll be here. Just beat my head against the wall trying to figure out what I broke. No, I did. Look at that. Okay. Okay, it's crazy to think that it was just that one change I made, but let me go ahead and revert that back. If so, then I'll leave it and I'll figure out another way to deal with it. So let me do it that way. Clear out the data. Okay. And I'll rebuild it. Seems like I wouldn't actually break anything in the login by just adding that to the username, but I could be wrong. Crud, I may have to revisit that. Alright. If I broke the Google Play, I'm not going to delve into that because that's a can of worms that's not that fun to dig through. So I'll just kind of tackle the other things that I want to do. Excuse me, especially the water, being able to toggle that between the high res and the low res. Alright, Hawk. So yeah, let me know how it goes in terms of reverse engineering the game, right? Or better yet, reverse engineer my game, strip it all out, and then just improve it, right? And release like a better version of my own game for me. There you go. That way you can laugh at me twice. Alright, so right now it's doing the build. And battery's down. Battery's still at almost 70%. So it's doing its little build thing. I'll send it back out to my tablet here in a second. There it goes, it's writing it out now. Okay, so that's scary because it was working fine. And I hate to think that I thought it was working, but it's not. Means I have to do some more digging. Okay. Let's just hope for whatever reason that little change I made is what was annoying it. There we go. Allow. Okay. Here we go. Drum roll, please. What do you guys think of the odds of this actually firing up Google Play correctly? 50-50? 40-60? Here we go. Logging in. Yes. And death. Ah, that sucks. Alright, what I need to do is actually look at that. And that's so small, I can't even read it. There it goes. Alright. Let me get at it this way. Alright. Would it be under downloads? Nope. Pictures. Screenshots. Nope, wrong one. Go by details. Details. There he goes. So it's login now. Oh, I should have done it this way. Let me try this again. Screen capture. Get more details here. Ugh. Can't zoom in. Crap with that. Let me zoom in. There it goes. Login now. System stream. Interesting. Blame first time. Okay. I guess I will try and debug this, figure out what is going wrong here. So login now. Alright, and then we'll be down here in Android land. First time. Oh, because, wait, we should be logged in to Kombu by that point, so... Kombu manager, right. Do we not have social... Yeah. Alright, maybe it's doing it like it hasn't loaded the Google Play, the social, yet. Maybe. It's for an image authenticated. I'd be a stickler. Alright. See, authenticated, and if he is, then it has to be Kombu local user ID. Try it this way. Alright. Throw it back out there and figure out which one of these it hates. Unless it's initialized player data. Oh, wait. Do I see initialized player data in here? Nope. Alright. So I'm going to set this initialized player data. Initializing. Okay. I don't see that there. Okay. Oh, here 1B. Coins. Huh, did I set up coins? Let me check him. Oh, it didn't actually create it yet. That's crazy. Android register. Alright. Come back in here and take one more stab at this. Huh, it's more broken than I thought it was, I guess. I'm not sure exactly why I was able to get to run before and why it's complaining now. It's a mystery. Alright, bring this back up. So, here we are on the Android tablet. Welcome back, Doomwide. I'm still stymied at the moment, trying to figure out why the Google Play is now breaking. And it is... It's all in the same place, too, right? So... Yeah, okay, it's right there, the Hero 1B. That's where it's actually doing it. So actually, I guess I can come back here and... Oh, because that's not... Okay. Wait, it should be the first time, though. It's not kicking off like it's the first time. That's not good. Okay, so maybe I just set that up wrong on the initial. Okay, so it's not pre-existing. He's okay, so that's social. So if he already exists, let me see. Bring this guy back up again. Logging in 1. So okay, we're at that spot. So let me come back over here. So he's the culprit. Login now. Ah, there it is. No, but actually, total users is greater than 1. Crap. Okay, so then apparently I still have one in existence, or at least it thinks there's still a scary robot. So it's getting a false reading, like there's still a registered account using this Google Play, but I don't see it, so why is it actually doing that? Total users, let's see. Users found is 1. 1291. Okay, let's try it that way. Come back over here, go like that. 21. There it is. Okay. Butchered the name, that's why. Man, I thought it was working correctly, but I think I had it wrong. But that does fix... Just looking at the name incorrectly. Makes me think of the creator of Flappy Bird, just a kid who stole a bunch of Nintendo assets originally. Wait, what makes you think of that? What he was talking about, or what I'm working on? If so, then if I stole all my artwork, then why did I take so long working on it? Alright. So he's still up, so let me do this. Try it again. No, it's still finding it. What the heck? Here 1B, that's bizarre. Or is it like generating it, but generating it wrong? Alright, if that's the case, I'm going to stop down on this, chasing my tail on this, because that's just kind of crazy at the moment. Let's see. Android. Login 2. Really? Okay. So that was over here. Pre-existing. Okay, why did I think that was a pre-existing here? Oh, I think I gotta search. Okay. So, authenticated. Oh, because it does authenticate. That's bizarre. Alright. Oh, no. I know. You're being funny. I was just playing along with it, too. No. Yeah. No, I totally got that, man. Sorry. My humor tends to be on the very droll side. So I was completely playing along with it. So, yeah, no worries, man. I took no offense. I was just being humorous. Trying to be humorous. Alright. So, for some reason, it's either finding an account when it shouldn't. Alright, let me take one last look at this. And then I'm going to stop down on this for a moment because I'm going to be chasing my tail for a while on this. I'm afraid that's going to be the case. So if I come back here. Yeah, and it just made this. Okay, so it's making the account, but it's making it incorrectly. So something definitely broke. Crap, that sucks because it was actually working nice. And now it's doing it wrong. Okay. You know what? I'm not going to bore you guys with that because that's going to get really tedious. Because, I mean, there's 3 different ways you can come at it. You can either come at it like you've just initialized everything and you're checking to see if there's an account in existence. If there is, load the account. If not, generate the account. But then you also have to have a situation where you come back. If everything's already activated, then you have a whole set of different instances where you check to see is that person actually active or do you need to create a new account. So something along those lines is broken. But you know, you guys saw it. You guys are my witnesses. You saw it was actually working earlier. But okay. So I'm just going to nuke that because that's just totally wrong. Alright, so we're going to stop down on that and hide that and then kill the Android tablet for the time being. And we'll just put him away. So in that case, I will bounce over to my other task since I failed miserably on this guy. We'll deal with the water. Let's do that, guys. That one hopefully should be a less annoying issue. So the first thing I do is want to set up the options menu. Oh, you know what? Fine. I'll just find you this way. Excuse me. You downloaded Thrawn book by Timothy Zahn. Oh yeah, Timothy Zahn, man. He did some fantastic stuff. That's cool. Yeah, give it a try. I hope it's good. So yeah, there's 2 things. Obviously, you gotta find a good author and you have to find a good narrator. But if you find the both together, man, I love it. And I have gotten into books where I had to stop down on it, man. I had to throw in the towel and say, I quit. I can't. This is just not working for me. Actually, my wife is actually much more brutal about those kind of things. She'll go like 10 minutes in, right? And she's like, yeah, I'm done. She goes, I bought it on sale. It's crap. I'm done. Alright. So, this guy is right here. There's my options menu. That's what I wanted. Let's fire him up like this. Okay. Authorize button. I don't think I need that. Nope. Actually, that's kind of a dead thing now. So, all these guys and just move everybody up. Like, oh, let me go 2D. There he goes. Nah. Really? Oh, you're all locked, aren't you? Yeah. Okay, fine. The voice acting is funny. I can do better. Well, there you go, man. You got yourself a new career. Yeah, it is kind of sad how bad voiceover will completely take you out of the story. You know. Yeah, there was one that I was really looking forward to, and I tend to rely more on sci-fi, especially like space stuff. And there's one that was like kind of ne'er-do-well, almost like a Han Solo-like kind of ne'er-do-well sort of space pirate kind of guy. But the way it was a female narrator that was reading it, and the way she read it made him sound like a drunken idiot. And it's just I came back to it like a couple times, and I said, you know what, I quit. I'm out. All right. So I'm gonna move all these guys up. So I'm gonna make room for a selection button. Let's see. I can either do it two ways. I can just have a button that toggles, or I can have it where it's two buttons to choose from. Not quite sure which way I want to go on that. Let me tweak this for a second there. Okay. Let's see. I guess the 2 button is better, just because that way there's no confusion. So, take the credits button. Drag them over here. And the OK button will come down a bit, like so. Move this over. We'll say quality versus performance. That's pretty understandable, isn't it? Oops. Quality versus performance. Or speed. Performance. I think performance is good. What do you guys think? 184. Whoa. Put 180. 180. What I'm gonna do is actually have these 2 buttons here. So I'm gonna have one that's gonna be called quality, and one is gonna be called performance. So, and then I'll just, let's see, under here I'll add create label child. If the game is sluggish, game is slow. Oh, let me expand this. Select performance. If the game runs slow, how about that? If the game runs slow, select performance. I'll go big and white with that. There it goes. Alright. So that makes sense, yes? Push these guys up. R4. At least your app will have better English than most of these games. My English is gooder. Oh, thanks. Alright. Can I expand that without hitting the edges? Quality performance. Alright, so if I come down, it's like 51. 51. This is nitpick. I'm just trying to make sure that these fonts are actually like the same size. That's kind of annoying. Overkill, but That stuff kind of bugs me. All right. So quality, and this is performance. Performance button. Well, yeah, and in fairness though, I mean, if I tried to do my own localization, you know, then it would just be god-awful terrible. I know they say that localization is something you should look at before you get the game out the door, but I'm hoping that there's so little stuff going on in terms of text that you don't have to worry about it, but that's something that I don't want to devote the time, money, and resources, I mean, to try and do a localization with the first one. I mean, you know, once again, I don't know. I mean, maybe 5 people download this game, you know, so to spend a lot of money and a lot of time to integrate all these various languages, I'm hesitant to do that from the beginning. But you know, I'd rather try and like apologize and make new releases with additional languages after the fact. I think if the game no good, select performances. Game is crap. Hit uninstall. Select performance. I'll even put a period there. Look at that. Beautiful grammar. Okay. So then by default, we want the quality button to be up and then the performance to be semi-transparent. There. So actually I'll do 127. No. I'm going to drop it down to 90. So it's obviously unselected. Okay. So let's start getting these buttons assigned. This will obviously be in the main menu. Options menu. Public. Actually, I guess I want render. Let's see. Quality. Now I can't spell. Quality button material. And then do performance button material. Quality and performance. Okay, and then I think that's all I need because the buttons will always be active. And all I need to do is be able to toggle which one is semi-transparent. So that should be okay. And by default, we will say, so wait, quality and performance. Start. Yeah, I'll just leave that out. I can actually do that once it gets set. And the default value, I gotta think about what I want to call that. We'll call it game quality. I think that'll be easy enough to remember. Okay. And where's this jerk hiding? Oh, right at the top. Nice and convenient. Main menu. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Going blind in my old age. I'm trying to avoid busting out the old reading glasses so I don't look older than I actually am. But it's right there at the top. Alright. Guest. There it is. Quality. Found it. Really? Oh, because... Oh, I know why. Because it's not actually... yeah, it's I'm using NGUI. So I need that to not be render. I need that to be... UI What is it called? UI sprite. Yep. I'll get to it that way. Oh no, actually, wait. Oh, yeah, wrong thing selected. Come on. Alright, so if I hit this guy, then he is at 90. There he goes. Alright, so 90 divided 255 equals 0.35. We'll say it's 0.35. Okay. So those are added, so I should be... Oh, no, wait. They aren't added. Let me toss those in real quick. Quality button. Let's see. Performance button. Okay. Guest options menu. Let's see if I'm doing that at a couple different places. Oh, good. Just the one. Nice. Oh, no, no. That's not actually the right thing, is it? Nope. I just want just the options menu. Good. All right. So an update. That's kind of nice. Let me check what that looks like. Music. Nah. I don't have to make this little sub anything. I don't have to make it a separate function. I'll just toss it in this one. Oops. No, 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 no. Stop. Stop. Options. Set active. True. There we go. Okay. So we'll just set this right here. We'll say, I'll do it as a string. Alright, so if graphic quality? No, graphics. Let's see, graphic, yeah, graphic quality. If equals quality, so it's either quality or performance. All right. Oh, it's set string. Nope, that needs to be get string. Then say color. All right, so this is in GUI. I can't remember if it's equals or quotes. I guess we'll find out fast enough. Equal new vector 4. And is it 255 or 1? I can't remember. Let's see if I have another color in here. That's 1. Okay. Excuse me. Alright, so it's quality. So quality would be 1. Else. .5. Oops. Yeah, that's right. Maybe 0.5 F. And maybe 1 down here. Okay. Let's say go public void set graphics to quality. That should be good enough. Yep. Alright. I'll borrow this. I should just grab these guys. I'm all about the copy paste. But this case, say set string graphics quality to quality. Done. There. Alright. And I'll even be obnoxious enough that I'll say I'll do a check so it doesn't repeat it if you just hit the button and it doesn't keep writing out data. I shouldn't care, but I guess I'll be good about this. So if string does not equal quality, then alright. Else. That's right. And we'll switch this performance. And then switch the buttons. Like so. Oh, no, actually I don't want to do that. I just want to say if it is, then do that. But I'll recycle that code. There. Down here. It's not a toggle. Come on. Set graphics to performance. Alright, what do you not like? Oh. There, it should be happy. There it goes. Okay. So, if we're checking the performance, then we toggle the buttons. So, quality is there, performance goes up. That should do it. Alright, so we'll test this first. Set graphics to quality. Alright. Tween scale. Yeah, where is it actually executing? Oh, looks like it isn't. Okay. I'll add it right now. Where are we at? Oh, we're close to the bottom on this one. Okay. Set graphics to quality. Alright, let me see if I can find it where it's hiding. There it is. Set graphics to quality. And this guy. Main menu. Set the graphics to performance. You know what irritates me about the internet sometimes? When it goes down on you, when it's not working, or when what? You know, I wouldn't even venture a guess. What is it? Let me know. What am I buffering a lot or something? Alright, see if this works. Go options, quality, performance. Hey, check it out. Sweet. Guess what, guys? You can actually choose if you want the, no, not me. When you're trying to watch Netflix and it's just the endless spinning wheel. I think that'd be like a great April Fool's joke thing. If Netflix, of course, they would just get like trash, but you know, everything you click on, just the spinning wheel. All right. Cool. All right. So sometimes when people ask a genuine question, it goes unanswered, zero attention. However, if anyone tries to argue, that's when everybody loves to chip in. Yeah, I've seen that personally. That's true. That's cool. I mean, you know, if I guess it's it's a threshold, right? Not everyone likes to speak up, you know, and I mean, I would love to have everyone just chatting away, of course, but you know, if it has to be a point where I'm just gonna sit and watch, right? But then if something comes up like that, it's like, oh, now I'm pissed. Now I'm responding. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, I get it. But I'm just happy people are here. So if they don't, they just want to hang in the background, I'm fine with that. You know what? I can't complain because I do that myself. I tend to be much more of a lurker than you know, a commenter. So, but yeah, I totally get what you're saying. So, sweet. So that's working. Now the next question is should I just address it at runtime when you actually select one of the gameplays? You know what? I think that's what I'll do. Because I was thinking about having it in the main menu where try and toggle some of that, but because it's the main menu camera is actually turned off, the main game camera is turned off, which means that I can't affect these settings at this point. So I think it's going to be just cleaner if I do it when the game actually starts. So that's what I'm going to do. That is what I'm going to do. So there is a tutorial game, local game, single player game, demo game. I'll ignore the demo game. Single player game and online game. I got to do that in all those places. So first thing is I want to go ahead and make sure that that water stuff is available and grabbed. Oh, excuse me. So let's go to fire up the game controller. Get rid of everything else for the moment. Select. Yeah, I'll do a select local game. Although, actually, if I do have they may all funnel to the same place. So if I have, please tiles. No, I don't. Okay. So I'll just have it repeated. Select local game. I'll leave that for the moment. Drop it down here. Actually, you know what? I should add the variable first, shouldn't I? Now I'll throw it right in the bottom. So I say game object. What do I call it? Good water, bad water? I don't remember what I call it. Ocean. High quality. High quality, low quality. High quality ocean. And yeah, that could be public because that's already exposed, so I can grab it right from the start. High quality and low quality. Low quality. Oh. Well, for instance, if I had my own Discord or forum, etc., if someone asks for information revolving the topic, perhaps some source material or whatever, I'm not going to ignore that. But people are kind of mute when it comes to that. If someone pokes them, though, then everyone's chatty. It's just me in my 30s realizing I'm feeling old. Get off my lawn. Yeah. No, I agree. And if you look on the Facebook, game development forums on the Facebook website, I'm kind of two minds on that because, part of me is like, someone asks a question, right? And, some of the people jump in and just start destroying the person, right? Just, like basically saying that their mom and dad should never have met kind of stuff, right? Or worse. But then on the other hand, when you have someone that asks for the 1.8 millionth time, hey, which one is better, Unity or Unreal? And a Firestorm's going to get generated, but you also know that the person could have easily searched the forum to see if that question had been asked before, which of course it gets asked like every other day. So it's, and I don't troll. I mean, if you look at if you ever went to my Facebook, you would actually see my posts are incredibly generic. I post funny videos, I post humorous comments, but I don't go into the idea of going after anyone or hopefully not getting attacked, but I agree. I wish there was more effort to try and be constructive on that kind of stuff. So I do agree with that. That I get. But I think when people come here to ask you that, they just want your opinion, not because they truly wonder which is better. Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah. And I'm guilty of that myself sometimes, and my wife is sometimes too, right? And I think we all kind of do that sometimes, where I'll ask something, and I've done this to her a couple times before, where she'll ask me my opinion on something, and I'll say it, and then she'll tell me why it's wrong, and it's kind of like, okay, well, tell me what my opinion is, and then I'll give it to you. But that always comes back to bite me, because I'll do the same thing, and then she'll turn that right back on me, and I'll kind of go, you know what, now you're just plagiarizing me. Come on. So, but that is true. I think that is kind of a human nature thing. I think sometimes you offer a request for feedback, but you have a preconceived notion, and I try and I do the same thing. I try and be open-minded, and I think my game reflects that. I think that people have offered suggestions, and I've looked at it and kind of went, oh, geez, man, you're totally right, But I will, if I won't just like hear an idea and say that, well, no, that's just not going to work. I will say, you will never hear me say, no, that just doesn't work. You will never hear me say that. What you will hear me say sometimes is like, that's cool, but here's why I think it won't work, and I'll try and explain the reasons technically why I can't do that kind of thing. Yeah. When I do that to my girlfriend, she thinks I'm digging to argue. Yeah, it's like, yeah, now you're just trying to start something, aren't you? Alright, let me get this stuff wired up here. So we have the high quality and low quality Ocean. That's going to be under game controller. And Ocean group. Expand, you jerk. High quality, low quality. There he goes. And he's going to be at the very bottom. I'm just going to like scroll right down here. Alright. High quality. Low quality. Done. And done. Cool. Alright. So now I can actually do the toggle. And then the main camera. How do I want to attack that? So, kind of a quirky thing about this plugin. I love this thing, man. It has a beautiful water effect, right? Reminiscent of like the old Zelda game. I think even like the name kind of references it. But the frustrating thing is traditionally, if you turn off the script, boom, you're done, right? But even turning off the script, the render depth will still stay active, which is frustrating. So you have to actually turn that off if you really want it to be off. So that means it's a 2-step process. So I guess let's see. Let's go select. We'll start with the local game. I'll just throw it in here. So then we'll say update water. Start and end. So I can just copy paste this in all the different places, hopefully. Alright. So then I gotta remember what I call that again. What did I say? Water quality setting? Oh, it's graphics quality, wasn't it? Should be enough. Yeah. There it is. Alright, so if this guy is equal to quality, wait, why do you not like that? Oh, you happy now? Good. Alright, I'll bring him down. Okay, so if it's equal to quality, then high quality ocean set active true. Low quality set false. Alright, now the fun part. I gotta try and track down the crap on camera. My camera. Let's see. TCP2. Let's see. To camera depth? Is that what it's called? Yeah, camera depth. Camera plugin is equal to my camera get component TCP. Whoa, definitely hit a wrong key there, didn't I? TCP2 camera depth, and done. That should do that. Now we can start playing with it. Camera plugin. Depth check. Render depth equal to false. Yep. And then camera plugin. Hopefully I can just disable it here. Nope. Enabled equals false. Ah, I was so close. False. Oh wait, that's quality, so this should actually be true, wouldn't it? Oops. True. Else, and then let's do the low quality version. False. True. Get that. In this case we go oh, you know what? Actually, if he is true, let me enable it first. So in case I can't get at the script. So I enable the script first, and then I'll change the render depth. In this case, I'll change the render depth first, and then deactivate the script. I think I have to do it in that order. Otherwise, it may just bite me. Alright, so in theory, that might work. Let's find out. Have I ever come across that Wadio asking something very generic that I can just Google myself? No, absolutely not, man. No, absolutely not. And no, I love any kind of questions that, I mean, because the difference is that this is me talking for the first time, right? It's not like you can go look, you know, in my chat stream, right? I mean, if someone just asked a question and then like someone else repeated it directly right after it, you know, or like, you know, then that might be a different thing. But no, for something like this, man, I have no qualms with anyone asking anything, because I consider this sort of like a fresh start every time I do a stream, you know. But I'm talking about like in a Facebook forum, right, where you have an endless amount of content, right, to search, and in that same room, right? You know, that's like if someone says, you know, someone walks in a room, it's like, you know, hey, how do I turn on this computer? And then someone walking in and standing right beside him and saying, hey, how do I turn on this computer? It's like, dude, he just asked, man, you know. So to me, that's different. That's totally different. And once again, I also help run the Unity user group meeting here in Las Vegas. And people will do that sometimes. They'll be hesitant to ask about saying, you know, I'm kind of curious about something, but it's like really basic, and I don't want to like upset anyone. It's like, no, dude, man, ask whatever you want, right? You know. So I'm the same way. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'm an open book, you know. And if it's something that got asked on a previous like stream, then I have no issue with repeating it, right? And for anyone that watches like multiple streams, which I'm shocked if you do, but thank you. But you know, for them, it may be kind of redundant, and I'm sorry for them. And you even hear me sometimes, I'll kind of preface a statement by saying that, you know, oh, I did mention this before, but, you know, but if someone asks it, I don't care if the same thing gets asked every single episode, every single broadcast. For example, once I actually started the next game, you know, and people see what the thing is, I'm going to tell you, every time I stream, they're going to start off by going, hey, aren't you worried you're going to get sued? You know, you got to worry about the rights. And then I have to say, no, dude, I have the rights. Okay. This is a licensed project, right? And I'll even have it like down below. I'll explain how this is a licensed intellectual property, but I'm sure I'll still get people asking all the time, you know, and it won't bug me because, you know, they don't know, right? It's just because we're so ingrained to see when someone does something, right? When they go, hey, look at this, I'm making a Dragon Ball Z video game and I'm going to make, you know, so much money and everyone's going to love it. It's like, dude, no, you're going to get sued, man. You're going to get a cease and desist letter if you ever finish it. So no, you know, that's different. And because we see that all the time, whenever we see anyone using any kind of intellectual property, especially someone on my scale, right? You know, if it's a big company, yeah, you expect them to have intellectual property. But if it's someone like me on a super, you know, microscopic scale, you know, hey, Nerdit, did it follow? Thank you, Nerdit. Thank you so much for the follow, man. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know, in that case, you know, people just kind of expect it not to be legit, you know. So I expect that to get asked very frequently, and you will not see me get upset, right? I won't say, you know, I've answered this before, man. You know, I may just say, you know, it's like, yeah, no, dude, I totally understand. But if you look on the page, I explain that this is licensed IP and explain the details. But, yeah, hey, man, thank you so much, Nerdit. Thanks for coming and hanging out, man. Welcome, welcome. So, let me see. Let me switch this performance real quick and see if this works. And if it does, look at that. Check it out. So, the water is all plain and boring, but then the frame rate is super fast. So, let me come back over here and switch the quality back. And say, options, quality, okay, one player. And the water is beautiful again. Dude, how's that? Cutane, hey! Wow, look at that. Follows back to back. Thank you so much for the follow there. Okay, so actually, since I just set this up and got the pretty water going, I'll show you guys real quick. So this is Volley Village. It's a game I've been developing for on and off for 3 years now. Sort of Angry Birds meets Battleship. You target by dragging your finger back, right, like this. Now, the one thing you'll see here is I'm targeting the bouncing buildings because they actually reinforce the force field. So if you knock out all those buildings, right, force field goes down, you get the catapult, and it's game over, right? And you have the strategy of you can send out villagers to repair the buildings, right? Which you can see the AI is doing that right here, right? But when you do that, that means you got fewer guys left on your catapult, so the reload times increase. So I got all 4 of my guys just wailing away on the catapult, which means that I can fire twice as fast as him. And I can't repair buildings, but I'm going to be fast enough that it won't matter. And then you saw I hit that little power-up on the side there. These power-ups that come up, whoever shoots it scores for 15 seconds. The green arrow makes your villagers repair and run around and reload twice as fast. there's a stop sign, which will put the villagers to sleep and your opponents to sleep, and a cloud, which actually cover your buildings in fog. Oh, I was kind of hoping one of the other ones would pop up, but I'll hit this one. There. Oh, so he repaired a building, so you can see his force field actually came back active again. But if I hit this, oops, try it again. Hit this, boom, there he goes. And if you want to be a jerk, you can actually go after the villagers. You can't kill them, but you can actually knock them back and reset their work. So you have to start all over again. That's kind of fun. Actually, at one convention, there was a big brother and little brother. The little brother figured out he could just do this endlessly. So even though it's like this, where the little brother could actually finish the game, take out the catapult, all he did was just sit here and just wail away on his brother, just like humiliate him. Because you know that the little brother never gets to win anything. So rather than just win the game, he just kept doing this, right? The mom's like, honey, you can actually hit the catapult now. And the little kid's just like going, yeah, I know. Yeah, it was so great, you know. And then you just turn around and finish him off. Boom. There you go. So that, in a quick nutshell, that is what Vale Village is all about. It's going to be iPhone and Android at initial release, and then I'll look at doing desktop as well. You can either play locally or online, and it's cross-platform. Doesn't matter what device you're on. And the other nice little feature about it is you can unlock various characters. Won't really change performance. It's more of like a visual aesthetic change. But you can also customize the layout. So if you want to put the buildings in a very specialized way, you can just do it. Right now I'm just hitting the randomize button. But you can actually clear it. If you want to just do one by one, you can just put everything exactly the way you want it. Right? Or just make changes and just adjust. I like just dropping in random. Just getting something I like and just hitting save. You hit save, throw in a slot, and you're done. So, and the characters, don't forget to mention the Odin. And my buddy Doomwide will never live it down that he is not going to be happy until there is a Odin character present, which it ain't happening yet. But, you know, maybe we talked about before, you know, if the game has any kind of success, maybe I'll make a Odin Island, an Ode to Odin Island. How about that? So, but you can actually unlock these other characters. As you see, the performance change is really minor. This is much more of a cosmetic change than any kind of real performance change. It's not a pay-to-win game. Because I hate pay-to-win games, so I'm not going to make one myself. So most of this is just kind of personalized, you know, character differences. Each one of these characters has their own unique animations. And the same thing over here is the launchers. You can also unlock these guys as well. And that changes your catapult. It doesn't change the gameplay at all. It's more of a visual aesthetic change. So you can use these guys. And if you actually unlock these guys, then you get bonus coins when you play random matches. And that's the way the game works, is you play matches for coins. So if I actually come back over here and I come into online match, you know, you can choose these online matches if you want to, you know, wager some coins. And the coins play for other matches, and then it unlocks the characters as well. So, in a nutshell, that is what Vale Village is all about. And what I was working on now was, as got mentioned earlier in the stream, was that the performance is in the 20 frame range on some older devices, and I didn't want to like stick with that. So, one of the key things that's really zapping my frame rate at the moment is this water effect. It's really pretty. I mean, you can see how you get the depth. You can see like the edges of the island there, you know, and you can also see the foam hitting the edges. It looks beautiful, but because it's doing like a depth check the entire screen, right? I mean, even the sharks, you know, you see the semi-transparency, and if it's hard to see, but even the sharks generate little foam around the edges, right? All of this. So this is a big performance hit on Android devices. So what I just added just now, if you guys saw, was an ability to toggle between the quality, and if you get like a crappy frame rate, just come over here and hit change to performance and say okay, right? And now if we look back, oops, oh, I didn't do it. Wait a second. Uh-oh, that's not good. What's up with that? Oh, because I did in the one-player game. Sorry, I only set up in the one-player game so far. There it is. So there. So here's the quality turn to performance. So the water, it doesn't look as pretty now. The water is just kind of stagnant. It's definitely not as pretty, but the benefit is the frame rate jumps. As I was showing on my own little Lenovo tablet, it was getting 22 with the fancy water, and it was getting 42, 43 with this water layout. So that just, you know, hopefully that'll keep everyone happy and keep the frame rate going. Nerdit, Would you say if you find some out of date, inaccurate information and claim that information as your knowledge, would that mean that all of your knowledge that regards the out of date information would also be out of date, inaccurate? Yes. Wait, let me. Yeah, and I'm one of those types that I think by human nature you have your own mindset of what facts are, and you try really hard to always defend them and believe them. But I tend to always. I think by nature we want to live in an echo chamber where we hear the same thing. But I traditionally try and listen to all sides. Because I like to get challenged. I'll be very defensive, of course, right? But if I feel like there's a legit explanation that proves that my data is crap, I will go, oh man, that my data is crap, and I will reassess. So I would like to hopefully believe that I will accept when my data is garbage and inaccurate. But your mileage may vary. But I mean, it's a challenging thing to do. I think we all kind of have this, desire to believe that what we believe is always right, But, okay, so the cool thing is I now have the one-player game working correctly in terms of updating the water. So if I go back to select local game, and I grab that little chunk of code that I just made right here, and I drop this into the other gameplay modes, then everything will be all hunky-dory. Select whoops. Two-player game. I'll drop it in here. So that covers the two-player game. That will set it up correctly. Select the online game. Like that. And then select tutorial. Add it to the tutorial. I guess I could have actually, rather than pasting all of them, I could have done a little function that went out and corrected it. Oh well, it's done now. Okay, fact. Did you, let's see, did I get this right? Okay. Did you know nothing in a computer or any other electronical system is random unless it is quantum computed? This is quite easy to understand if you think about all the components, transistors, etc. It is just not possible to get a random number out of those components. Think about it this way. It isn't possible to create a mathematical equation that gives you a random number as output every time. And I totally agree. In theory, if you and the person sitting next to you are on two different computers, but the machines are synced up so they have the exact matching time at the exact same millisecond, and if hit the mic. And if the two of you hit enter, right, at the same millisecond to say the enter key generates a random number, those two computers will have identical matching numbers, right? Because as I understand it, it's a combination of the internal clock compounded by the user input to generate a seed for the random number. So yeah, no, dude, I totally buy that. There is no such thing as random. You're just sort of faking it based off of a cheat, based off the computer time and the time of the user input, right? Which I think those are two great, right? I mean, those are two things that if you think about how low, right? I mean, how precise the computers can get with milliseconds, combined with the fact that you need someone to hit it at that exact moment. But no, I mean, in theory, it's sort of like if you ever saw that, what is the Whammies? What was the old TV show with the Whammies, where the guy figured out the pattern, right? The mathematical pattern, was able to, win endlessly because he was able to keep, never hitting a whammy character, right? So if you figure it out, absolutely. But I think computers do a fantastic job of faking it with those two things alone. But you guys can offer your 2 cents for sure. But yeah, the computer clock and the user input, I think those two things work perfectly to fake random pretty well. You know, and I know you can build off that with some fractal stuff too, but I mean, once again, it's all just smoke and mirrors, you know. Okay, so yep, I would not argue that at all. I am in total agreement of that fact. All right, you know what? I'm gonna duck away for just a quick second, do a quick restroom break, but I think all that is updated correctly. So now, no matter which one I do, in theory, we should have the water working perfectly. If the only thing I know is that I know nothing, do I know something? I know nothing. Yes, because if you know that you know nothing, then there is something that you actually do know. So yes, I believe that. I think that if you know that you know nothing, you are mistaken, that you actually do know something. Okay, once again, I gotta go back to my quote from The Accountant, right? One of my all-time favorite short films. If a man builds a robot that conspires with another robot built by another man, are those two men conspiring? Alright, hang tight. I'm gonna do a quick restroom break, and I'll be right back. Alright? Hang tight, guys. And I'm back. What is The Accountant? You know, I am thrilled that you asked that question because I love to promote it any chance I get. If you ever watched the TV series Justified with Timothy Olyphant, Walton Goggins, who became like the greatest character on that show, he was in a short film, and you know what? I'll dig it up right now. Let's go. The Accountant. And it was written and directed by a fantastic actor that you probably don't know by name, Ray McKinnon, but he's been in a ton of stuff over the years. It's kind of like you'd watch stuff. He had a brief role in Justified, as a matter of fact, as well. But so it's this accountant that goes to a farm and tells the guys what they have to do to make the books work, right? And he's just this crazy character, and it's just so brilliant. But he actually won the Academy Award back in 2001 for Best Short Film, and totally deserves it. It is just a masterstroke, and Ray McKinnon actually delivers that line that I love that line so much. You know, one more time. If a man builds a machine that conspires with another machine built by another man, are those men conspiring? And just, you know, that's it. You know, it's like genius. But yeah, stars Walton Goggins. You know, you probably recognize this guy's face. You know, such a fantastic actor. I mean, he's just so great. He plays villains way too often, which is a shame because I think he's actually just a really cool actor in general. But it's hard to find this. You know, it's one of those things. I have it on disc myself on DVD. But if you ever get a chance to see it, it's literally like half an hour long. But if you ever had a chance to see it, I highly recommend it. It's just beautifully well written. And Ray McKinnon, oops, go away. has been in all this stuff over the years. Yeah, he was in Deadwood. Yeah, Mud. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? If you ever saw that with George Clooney, he plays like the new husband. And then he was also in a movie a million years ago called Paris Trout. Yeah, there you go. So early on in his career, he was in Driving Miss Daisy, played Trooper. He was in a movie called Paris Trout, which actually I was in back a million years ago when I thought I wanted to be an actor. I was an extra. So if you ever have the misfortune of watching this movie, you will not only see Mr. Ray McKinnon in one of his early roles, but you actually see me in the courtroom scene sitting in the background. But I digress. And what was that? That was 1991. Yes, I'm old. So that's it. That's The Accountant. Sorry, I should actually just... That was foolish of me. I should actually throw up the IMDb for that. In case anyone is truly curious. Whoops, that's not right. Go away. What is that? Do this one more time. The Accountant. Why does it not want to show up now? Really? I misspelled it, but... No, you're not going to find it now. Alright. No. Yeah, now IMDb is just being a jerk. I just want to show it again, and now it doesn't want to actually even show it on the search. One more time. The Accountant. There it goes. Okay. There it is. So, like I said, it's kind of hard to track down, but if you can find it, definitely worth the half hour. Brilliantly written short film. Did you know the guy who had the world record for a lot of arcade games, including Pac-Man, has had all his records removed because it was discovered he was cheating? Well, that sucks. Actually, the one I feel most sorry for, the people that were like in second place. You know, I mean, the guys that truly earned it and deserved it, they're getting screwed by the guy that's cheating. So, I mean, did he cheat by, like, hacking the hardware, or did he cheat by, like, hacking the VHS tapes and doing splicing or something? I'm curious which way he went. Either way, it sucks, but that's good that they caught him and busted him on it. Maybe I really want to show you something. It's an intellectual debate, but the F-bomb has dropped a few times. Is that okay? Just giving you a heads up. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it family friendly. You know, I don't have the little, message on there that says, warning, 4-letter words ahead. So, I mean, if you want to share it with me, I'd say send it to me in a whisper, and I'll try and see if there's some way I can sort of like repurpose it and share it without the F-bombs. And watch it when you can. I will, I promise. I have no issues with F-bombs. If you heard me offline, you would understand that, I make a sailor blush. That's not a problem. It's just that I'm trying to be a good boy on the channel here. He had a modded arcade machine. Oh, well, that would help. Yeah, throw it on a Discord. Yeah, absolutely, dude. If you throw it on Discord, I promise I'll check it out for sure. Well, that sucks. So, wow. That would do it. If you had a modded arcade machine. But, I mean, someone had to, like, catch on. Because this guy is going, yeah, I'm a master at all these games. I mean, I would be instantly suspicious, I think. There you go. Nerdit wants to check it out as well. So, yeah. Hit me up on Discord. Once again, that is a perfect time to plug away. So, let me do that. So, if you guys want to reach me when I'm offline, I'm always on Discord. I'm always available, except when I'm sleeping. Even then, I probably still answer in my sleep. So, yeah. Please, feel free to join the Discord if you guys want to chat with me there. Ask me anything. If you want to throw videos with lots of F-bombs in them, I will be happy to check them out on Discord. But, yeah, like I said, I'm going to try and be a good boy on this. It's tough, too, because I catch myself sometimes. Like, when something goes wrong and I just go, okay, no, I can't say what I want to say right now. Just move on. All right. So I think all the water stuff is good. Let me do a quick test through to make sure. So by default, everything should be beautiful. So I'm going to set it to the crap quality. So come in here and we'll say performance. Good. 2-player game, and we see performance. I wonder if I should even change that on the main menu. Do I care about if it's sluggish on the main menu? Nah, I think I'm gonna leave it pretty on the main menu either way. Alright, so that's good. And I'll try a quick online match as well. Do tutorial. There he goes. Boy, that's ugly, isn't it? Excuse me. Yes, it is ugly, but at least it's peppy. Alright, so tutorial is good. Oh, it doesn't look like an intellectual argument, just a film scene. And it, you know, it's oh hey, whoa, I got rated. Check it out. Sorry about that. I didn't even notice that. Welcome, guys. So I'm working away on my mobile game here. It's gonna be coming out for iPhone and Android. Sorry, I'm gonna do another run through. Sorry, guys, that were already here before. So the game is called Volley Village, and sort of Angry Birds meets Battleship, right? iPhone, Android, it'll be online, multiplayer, cross-platform, and a quick rundown. So the objective here is, so you get targeting just like Angry Birds, right? So the objective is you're going to go after these bouncing buildings, because the bouncing buildings actually power that force field. So if I drop all the buildings, force field goes down, you hit the catapult, and it's game over. Oh, and I just missed. And you can see the AI is actually throwing out some villagers to repair buildings. You can do that, but when you send guys out, that means you have fewer left on your catapult, so your reload times will increase. So in my case, I'm just going to play it tough and leave all my guys behind. So I'm actually getting the opportunity to fire twice as fast as the AI. And right now he's actually aiming for this power-up over on the side here. And if you hit that power-up, you get a 15-second bonus. In this case, it's a green arrow, which means that for 15 seconds now, his villagers are actually going twice as fast. So they're building faster. Yeah, you see that. And then he's firing twice as fast now. But I'm still destroying them. Because, you know, I play this game too much. The game's been in development for on and off for 3 years now, so, but there it is, game over. So, that's the concept of the game. You can also come into a level editor that allows you to show you that. So I say it's Angry Birds meets Battleship, and the Battleship element is because you can actually customize the island layout. Just like that. Right now I'm just hitting randomize, but if you want to do it by hand, you could just drop every piece in place. So you can, if you have the ideal layout in your head, you can drop it in and make it where you want. And once you get all the pieces in place, you just hit save. Save. There you go. And now you're all set. Hey Now's here. Hey Now, Happy New Year. That's right. Hey Now, you're already in 2019, aren't you? You're in the future, right? This is not as we expected. Don't come here. Stay back. Stay in 2018. Fire's burning our house. Uh-oh. Oh. Well, we don't have children, but we do have dogs, so I'll have to keep the dogs safe. Don't want them on fire. How's it going, Hey Now? Welcome, man. So you rated me again and brought some more friends. Thank you so much, man. And, sorry, my Spanish hasn't improved. Lo siento, mi español es muy malo. So, I'm sorry. Solamente hablo inglés, solamente. So, for those of you guys that are looking for some Spanish, I'm going to terrible. Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks, man. Thanks again. Thanks. All right, so let me check real quick. So, what I was doing was modifying the water. So, you can... Yep. It looks like... Oh, no, wait, that does look pretty. Let me see if it switches. Check. Yeah, there we go. So this is the ugly water. So what I did here is... you can see the effects. The transparency and that foam is gone. But by doing that, the frame rate will jump super high if you're on an older Android device. So I give you that as an option now. Nope. For me, I am at 3:27 p.m. So I have what... 8.5 hours left of 2018 before the dogs break into our homes. Oh, that's great. Yeah, everything was fine, man. 2018 was great, and then 2019 came, and the hell dogs came and just tore the house apart. Drop some garlic in the door corners before 2019. Okay. Yeah, my wife, man, she likes Buffy, but she hates the scariness, so we'll definitely have to put garlic all over the place to make sure that we keep the vampires out. Okay, so this is what I just added. So, if the game runs slow, select performance. If you want the quality, then you get that really nice foam effect. If you want performance, you hit that, and then, you get the boring edges, right? But then the frame rate just jumps through the roof. So, it's a trade-off. If you got a decent device, then just leave it as is, and you get yourself a nice looking game. But, I'm 10 hours past the start of 2019. Wow. Okay. Jeez. So, yeah, you're on the other side of the world, aren't you, man? Okay, well, for those that are curious that don't know, I'm coming to you from Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada. I am here in the mecca of glitz, neon, and lots of terrible things. So, yeah, so for me, I'm 3:30, so I still got 8.5 hours of the bliss of 2018 to go. But yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for coming around again. Australia. Oh, nice. Yeah, I actually, on my mom's side, I'm a quarter Australia. I got a ton of family that, unfortunately, I've actually never met. I really want to do that someday. But, yeah, my great-grandfather, his name is, I believe it's Jack Allen, was a documentary filmmaker in Australia. Actually won an Academy Award for doing Australian documentaries about, like, travelogues, that kind of thing. So, always wanted to go, but I'm too much of a workaholic. Oh, here we go. Obscriptor. Hey, by the way, Obscriptor, how's it going, man? Thanks for coming and hanging out and chatting. Sweden, it's... Wow. So, yeah, you're a half hour past... You're 30 minutes into 2019. How's the future? Is it you guys doing okay? You guys, aside from the hell dogs that ate Hey Now's house, sorry to hear that hell. I'm about to say sorry to hear that hell dogs. Sorry to hear that Hey Now. That's too funny, man. Oh man. So did you guys do anything exciting? Hey, look at that. Mid development too. How's it going, man? Hope you guys did something fun. We're in Las Vegas, so we probably won't go up to the Strip. We live south of the famous Las Vegas Strip, so we could pretty much almost just like drive up the street and just watch all the fireworks go off, all those miles away. It's better than dealing with the crowds, because you can imagine New Year's Eve and Christmas and Thanksgiving, Las Vegas, man, it is just filled with tons of people. Alright, so since you guys are here, let me just do my blatant plugs. So, if you guys want to say hey to me, and I'm not online, hit me up on Discord. There's my Discord channel. Feel free to join that. Stream learning. View JavaScript. Oh, cool. That's a day well spent, man. That's very cool. And if you guys are Android users, head over to Google Play with that link, and you can actually try out Volley Village for Android. I promise I'm going to get a new build as soon as I can. I thought I was almost ready. I thought I had Google Play fixed and ready to go, but as you guys were watching, something broke. So I still got to tweak something there. But hopefully, before the end of this week, I'll have an updated version on Google Play with all the latest bells and whistles. We'll be back tomorrow. Oh, cool. Okay. So, I guess what I need to do is... The water thing actually came together much quicker than I thought it would. So I guess I could come back to what I was working on before, which is the ability to select the icons, since I haven't finished that up yet. So let me go customize and this bit. So... If you guys remember, I did actually set up where you could select this stuff and it read the data incorrectly. It was our fault everything broke. No, it was me. I'm not sure what I did wrong, but I definitely did something wrong. But, yeah, first it was working, then I could log in, but then I couldn't actually log out and log back in. But now I can do that, but now I can't log in the first time. That's all right. It's kind of a convoluted system. Unfortunately, the one thing I don't like about, and I mean, I've sung the praises of Kombu for forever, but the one thing I don't like about the way the login system works when you log in through like Google Play is that it sort of just, it logs in and looks for an existing version, and if it sees it, then it just displays it. If it doesn't, then it creates a new account, but it's kind of hard to tell which it's doing. So that's just, and then I think I'm trying to do a hack workaround to check beforehand so I can process it correctly. And because the login process, I have it set up in 4 different ways, because there's kind of 4 different times you can encounter the login process, that I broke something. But nah, because I actually had it working before, I know that I'll actually get it working this time, but just need to do a little more tweaking. But in the meantime, I can come back to this. Cannot be recruited. So actually, is that loading it correctly? Oh, because this is a new character, isn't it? This is a new player. Yeah, so it's totally broken. You can see here that's not been checked yet. So let me find out which guy this is. Oh no, I did. I had it hard coded, didn't I? He's hacking. Yep. I'm cheating. I'm totally cheating. Alright, so this would be under main menu. Toggle selection, icon menu. Set up icon selections. Okay. Where's my icons? Icon menu. That's what I wanted. There it is. Yep, there's my little hack cheat. There he goes. So it's going off to the server, grabbing the information to tell me which badges, icons you've already unlocked, and I just threw in a little hacked version of it so I can just test that without having to go back to the server and try and tweak all those settings. So this time, some of these characters should already pop up as unlocked. There you go. So you see here. So yeah, it can be recruited, which means that you've done enough. Actually, I should change that so the brightness is full, so that's more obvious that you can actually choose him. Okay. So I do have that setting, right? That's... Ooh, or do I? Let's see. Just an object. UI label, renderer, icon tint. Okay, component. You know what? That may not be actually correct. It's because these are sprites, and that's what I messed up before, isn't it? Yeah, those are all sprites, so this should actually be UI sprite. Change that. Whoa. Copy, paste that. Equal to game object, get component, UI sprite. There he goes. That should be legit. Okay. That'll make that work. Alright. So we come through here and we say if it's ignore that one, but if it's 0, that one, say locks as false, and say color. Oops. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, there it is. It just popped up wrong. Color, is it equaled, or do I do it? Yeah. And there's a new vector 4. And we'll just go one across. You know what? Actually, I could do vector 4 1, can I? Is that legit? Does that work? Yeah, it does. Yeah. And then what's that? 0. Yep. that should do it. So now when we come back, those ones that had the can be unlocked, they should actually illuminate like solid and not be semi-transparent. So it's easier to tell that you've gotten all the locks off of it, but you haven't purchased them yet. Oop, but the color's wrong. Oh, I forgot. I tinted them, didn't I? Oops, that's a mistake. So I can't use one. I gotta use the color tint, which is... Oh, what is that? That's funky. Let me write that down. 109, 255, 134. Alright. So let me come back over here. Oops. Stop down. Okay. So I can't use one. I actually have to use a true vector. New vector 4. 109 divided by 255 would be 420. Yeah. Say 0.428. And then 255, which would be a 1, and then 134. 134 divided by 255 is 0.25, 52. 0.2. I can round that up. What the heck? I'm gonna live dangerously. Alright, and then finally, the alpha goes up to 1, so he's solid. There. Okay, that should fix that. Well, you guys, since all you guys are ahead of me, I was going to say, what are you guys going to do for New Year's Eve? But you've already done it. That's cool. Alright. There it is. That's what I wanted. So then when you click on this, it'll say, do you want to, spend your coins to unlock it? Which I don't have that code yet, but I do have it loading correctly. And these guys actually do not have... Alright, let me check that now. Icon selection. Alright, come back to my main menu. Hide these guys for a second so I can see this a little more clearly. Alright. So, okay. Uh-oh, is that why? Let me see where I put the collider on this guy. It should be right there. Yep. There's your icon 2. Yeah, okay, good. No, they do actually have their icon. Do they not have the script? My phone's blowing up there. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's just the the Discord. I will check that out. I promise. I will watch the video. Since it is not necessarily family friendly, I will not do it on the stream here, but I will definitely give it a look. Okay. So, oh crud. Maybe I don't have the script attached to it yet. Yeah, selected icon tile. No, it's there. Villager number. Oh, okay. So this is villager number 1. So all these guys would be 1. Right. And these would be 2. And 3. It's 6:40 p.m. for me. Okay, so you're on the East Coast, right? I'll spend New Year's Eve coding and streaming as it's the best thing in the world. I agree, man. I'm loving this. I'm having so much fun. I mean, I wish it was better, but I'm still, improving. Like I said, the art, I mean, as some of you guys know, I'm 85% artist, 15% programmer. So the art stuff, when I do that, I can bang through it really quick. And then I hit the coding side and, the brakes come on and I'm slogging through this stuff. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that's all good. All right. Oh, because I don't have a tween on these guys, do I? I bet you that's... Yep, that's why I don't have a tween or to... Okay. Let me do this. Alright. Yeah, I can put the tween on these guys, but because I don't even have the script attached to it yet, that's probably not the best move yet. Villager number, pose number. Okay, that's how I'm going to approach this. Alright, so if we hit that, and we'll say, should I do this on this menu, or should I put it in the main menu? I think I'm going to add it to the main menu. I'll just have better access to everything in that. So I'm going to do a new one here. I'm going to call this void selecting icon. We'll say int villager and int icon. Oh, wait a second. No, actually, you know what? I take it back. I'm going to throw it over here because this is where all my data is, isn't it? That's where I got all my icon data loaded up. So nope, I'm going to do it over here. I can always throw it to the main menu when I need to, so change my mind. Alright, so it's going to get those values. So, so we request to select villager. Excuse me. Oops. Icon, and then the icon. There. Alright. So once that finishes, there it goes. So then we're going to throw this up here for our tween. When it kicks off, it will do that. Oh, wait. Is that not what the script is? Uh-oh. Icon selection menu. I thought it was on this guy. Is it not? Huh. That's peculiar. Oh, and I cloned it by accident. Alright, I delete him. Oh, wait. Let me make sure I delete the right one. That would be bad. Let me figure out which one is lit. I accidentally cloned the entire menu. I was going to delete one of them, but I may be deleting the one that was actually wired up, so I'm going to figure out which one it is first. Oops, let me come out of full screen. Customize. Select an icon. Alright, it's this guy. Oh no, that's right, I'm doing a prefab, aren't I? God, I'm an idiot. Both these don't matter. Ugh. Got myself turned around there for a second, I forgot. I do them as a prefab because I'm going to have different island themes, and I need these characters to be different every time, so I can't have it preloaded, since it'll always be different, potentially. My first words of 2019, no joke, were, "That's pathetic." I said this phrase when some friends and I watched a dismal, illegal firework display. Don't feel bad. I am crawling on Vue.js. It is the first time in years I'm stumbling through it. Don't you hate that, man, when you're like the bottom of the curve? Oh, nerd it. Yeah, you know, I miss it because, you know, here in Las Vegas, we actually had our neighbor right across the street. Dude, they would put on a display that rivaled, I mean, like, some of the small casinos. It was, like, that intricate. But then this last year, the cops started cracking down, right? And they were like, you know, here's the number. Snitch on your neighbors, right? Which I get because you don't want one of these fireworks to go off and burn somebody's house down. But, you know, mixed feelings because they would put on a show that would literally go for like over an hour. And I'm not talking like, you know, little firecrackers. I'm talking like the ones that go up go off and like have multiple repeating, firings. Just fantastic stuff. But yeah, and if we get lazy, what we might do is we may go over to the casino that's just east of us, that's south of the strip, and you just go to the parking deck and you go to the top floor and you look north and you can just watch all the fireworks going off on the strip, 7 miles away, and it's just a lot more convenient. Although cold. It is cold, man. When I moved to Vegas, I did not know it got this cold in the wintertime. So after 7 years being here, I'm still not used to that. Yeah. I miss those. They were a great show. So now if we want on 4th of July, we have to go somewhere to actually see a better show. Okay. Alright, so now if you hit this... icon selection menu. Alright, that's bizarre. Where did I stash that? One of the fireworks shot off towards us, but exploded before it hit us. And one hit a building and smashed some windows. Wait, and that's lame? Wait. That's pathetic? Dude, if having fireworks go off right in front of you and having a window smashed out in a building is pathetic, dude, man, I can't wait to see what you think a good show is. You must just be nuts. Wow. I mean, I would actually be kind of impressed by that. That's funny. Wow. Yeah, that's always good, man. When you see like the one skid off the ground and everyone just starts scrambling, trying not to get hit by it. It's always funny until you're the one that actually gets hit. Alright. This is terrible. Guys, I can't even remember where I stashed this script. This is just absolutely terrible. Icon selection. Oh, he's not attached to that, so he's not there. Icon select tile. That's that guy. Yeah, that's fine. Icon selection menu. Alright, we're going to go at it this way. Menu. Where is it? Find references in scene. Good fireworks are the ones in Sydney at midnight. Oh, yeah, I bet, man. I totally bet. Wait, why does a cannonball have a reference to it? And Kombu has a reference to it? I think it's just game controller. Keyboard. Okay, that makes no sense. Okay, I'm totally confused by that. Icon selection menu. Instantiate. Set up icon selections. Some of the fireworks didn't even lift off the ground. When that happened, all the drunk teens just scrambled for safety before it exploded. See, now that's good. That's just good, clean fun right there, you know. See, and I was born, you know, in the South area of the United States, and for us, that's considered, you know, a Tuesday. Okay. Icon selection menu. I literally do not remember offhand. This is terrible, man. Guys, I'm just... Old age and senility has hit me way too quick here. Alright, I'll come at a different route here. Let's go. Let's purge them out. Turn the main menu back on. Since I'm completing that Unity overlay of users in chat is cool. Oh, the little guys at the bottom. Yeah, that's yeah, I like that. That was like a little plugin. Alright, so if I go customize and this guy. So now I'm going to find this jerk. Oops, I had the wrong thing there. Toggle selection icon menu. Alright, now you're just annoying me. Toggle selection icon. Oh, come on. Icon menu. Customize. Send message. There it is. Select icon menu. How have I lost track of that? And it's right there at the bottom. Okay, good. I'm going to find it here. Can I borrow your Tuesdays for a year? Well, you know, and that's... I'm in Vegas, man. If you want entertainment, you drive 7 miles north into the Strip, and there's always entertainment, you know. That is one nice thing about this town, is that it doesn't matter what time, you know, there's, you know, it's like if you're hungry, you know, you don't have to go, oh, man, you think everything's closed? You think anything's open now? It's like, it's Vegas, man. We just go to a casino, you know. Especially, actually, that was one of the perks, too. If you're a night owl, you could live, I mean, Vegas is already cheap compared to the west area of the United States anyways, but, you know, if you can, like, wait for dinner until after midnight, all the casinos do, like, the late night, late owl kind of meals. That's when you get, like, you know, $4 will get you, like, a steak and eggs, and it, you know, I mean, it's just, like, crazy. Unfortunately, I'm not as much of a night owl as I used to be, so I don't get to take advantage of that like I used to. But, yeah, it's Vegas, man. There's always something going on here now. Every day is Tuesday in Vegas. Okay. Select icon menu. He's right here. Oh, it's a villager icons. Just poor naming on my part. Or you could just send me your Tuesdays via Dropbox. There you go. If I could package them up, man, just sell them on eBay. Oh, the wasted youth. Alright, so here's what I was looking for. So, how was I missing that before? Select villager icon. I'm going to rename this right now to select icon menu so I can find it. Since I was having such a nightmare looking for it before. Let's see. Yeah, that's the base menu. Okay. There he goes. Alright, just a bit of a brain fart there. Good. So let me bring up my prefab again. Throw them in place. Select icon menu. And then he select villager icon selection. Alright, start with this guy. Get this set up. Oh man, we're almost at 4 o'clock. Guys, the time has flown, man. Thanks for all the chatter and all for the hanging out, man. You guys really make this enjoyable. And this stuff gets so mundane for, you know, when you're sitting here by yourself, but chatting with you guys definitely makes it more enjoyable. Thank you so much. Okay, so now I can actually find the stupid thing because he's right there. So unfinish, kick that off. Icon selection menu. Icon selected. Yes. Oh no. Wait. I have it twice? That's not good. Oh well, I already did it before. Okay. So that means you are old and useless. selected. It's pretty much the same. Yeah, just change this naming. There it goes. Okay, so now we just need to assign this. And the way we do that is, oh crud. Oh no, that's the same icon. Okay, so this will work. So then what we want to do is drop him in here, and we say this is the villager number. Down here we say villager pose number. Happy New Year! Hey, look at that, 2 minutes. Subtix, welcome, buddy. Glad you made it, man. You'll be happy to know that those 2 bugs you pointed out have been nuked from orbit. Happily. The villagers getting stuck when you'd shoot them when they were returning back to the launcher, that was actually an easy fix. And the other one, oh shoot, what was the other one? I'm blanking now. But I did fix it. And then I moved on to the Google Play stuff, and I almost got it working. I thought it was all rock solid, and then I was showing it off and just found out that no, it's still broken. So I'm not quite as done as I wanted. But Subtix, how's it going, man? How you doing? Happy New Year. You're let's see, are you already in 2019? Let's say we're 4 o'clock now. 4 o'clock my time. So I'm still what 8 hours away. Alright, so in theory, I have this guy. Let me hit apply. And if I bust him out and then turn him back off, we'll just check this one to make sure that I got my coding set up. And if it's correct, then I can apply it across the board. So, let's see. Fingers crossed. Let's see if this is dialed in correct. Go customize. Hit this guy. If we hit that, it should come up with that text at the bottom. And it did nothing. That's not good. Oh wow, it lost the, wait, how did it do that? How did I lose my assignment there? I had that done, and it blanked it. That's not good. Quote, I can't remember what was broken, but yeah, I don't know what I fixed, man, but it's like super fixed. Totally super fixed, man. You know, it's like so fixed that it's like broken again. It's a special skill set. I'm very proud of that. Okay. Alright, let me take one more look at this. Icon selection. And why is it I had that set up? And I thought I hit apply. I thought I hit save. No, it's laughing at me now. Okay. Main menu. Select icon menu. No. Alright. Alright, you know what? I got one more restroom break in my schedule here, so I'm going to take it now. So hang tight, guys, and I will be just back in just seconds. Alright? Alright, I'm back. Just catching up here. Had too many swear words? Okay. To edit. Alright, I'll see if I can fix it and repost it. Yeah, so it just dawned on me. I realized why this is not working, and that, of course, is the fact that it's referencing a file, but it's a prefab. So it's going to be, like, not there. I have to, like, pull in a runtime. So I guess what I need to decide is, do I want 25 of these guys to all hunt, or do I want to just have it hunt for the script when you press the button? I don't know. Or I could do something tricky. Ooh, that's going to kind of convoluted, but I could just put a master script on this whole beast. And then have that reference it. Yeah, I'm not really happy about either of those choices. So if I have 25 guys that are all doing a find object all at the same time, that's probably going to be a bit of a slog, isn't it? Okay. So I guess I should be a good boy and just put a script on the prefab. I'm going to move them up here so I can see it a bit better. So if I put a script on the on this giant prefab and then have all 25 of these guys reference that one script, that means just that one script has to track down the object when the prefab is instantiated. Yep. Ugh. Alright. Yep, that's what I gotta do. There's maybe a cleaner way to do it, but icon selection, I can think of another name since I've already got these tied up. Create C# icon selection bridge. How about that? Oh, didn't I just get creative there? That's such a great name. That'll work perfectly. Because it's bridging the prefab. There he goes. Bridge. Come on, you jerk. No! Bridge. Drop it. There he goes. Alright, so I'm going to say the script. I don't want that. I want select icon menu. Is icon selection menu. That's what we want. So no, say icon selection menu. Icon menu script. I can't type. PT. And we'll say start. On start, we'll say icon menu script is equal to game object find. I've written my first add-ons for Kombu today. Oh wow. Man, wait, I just told you about Kombu and you're already like doing tweaks for it? Man. So in other words, what you're saying is like to me that reads as, you know, if I was doing your programming, you would have been done like what year is this? Easier than I thought, although the structure of Kombu is a mess. I'll be sure to let the developer know that. See, that's a good thing about being like a quasi-coder, is that when somebody insults me and says your code is crap, I go, yeah, I know. you know, when you say my art is crap, then I kind of go, well, you're a jerk. But yeah, I have no issue when people trash my code. I would not argue. Excuse me. All right, so I need to find this bad boy. Select icon menu. Find. Is it select icon menu? And then we say get component. I cannot type. Get component. And we're looking for this guy, which is icon selection menu. There. Good. So at this point, everyone should have that. Oh, let me make it public so everyone else can actually reach it. So all those little icons can actually grab it. It's not really how a PHP should be structured today. Okay. I dabbled with it just a little bit. I did after I had my first collapse with as I just referenced recently, one of the ad networks, when they went bankrupt and they took my cash with me, I vowed that I would never have just a ad network again. So I created my own PHP with my own scripts and my own little SQL database that would allow me to sort of like turn ad networks on and off on the fly. And so that was the only time I ever dabbled, and that was a few years ago. And I've sort of like gotten away from that, but I did learn just like that much, and pretty much forgotten all of it by this point, but it was kind of slick. I was able to log into my database, excuse me, and then if one ad network was treating me well, I could actually boost that ad network, and then if one of the ad networks was a jerk and didn't pay, shut it to 0, and it was done. What are you doing? You're actually making him productive today. We're supposed to be distracting him. Come on, man. It's New Year's Eve. Don't let him actually get something done before 2018 ends. They need to either use a framework like CodeIgniter or Laravel. Wow. Okay. I distract him. Super Meat Boy. There you go. Super Meat Boy for the win. Yeah, watch out, guys. I'm actually, you know what? This is my goal. You know, I'm not quitting today until I get the buttons where at least it will acknowledge and send the stuff out. So I still got another 5 hours to go. No, hopefully minutes. Hopefully this little approach will work. So Icon Bridge. So he should be attached to that prefab. Come on, guys. Let me select you. There it goes. All right. Good. So he's going to find that dynamically. No, you're staying here for the countdown, bro. Yeah. I'm not sure if my wife is going to be too happy about that concept. No, honey, I'd love to go watch the fireworks, but no, the guys want me to stay. All right. Let's see. Yeah, but this was internal. That's okay. But sorry, for a commercial product, you would need to deliver a solid platform, which can be supported for years to come. Oh, yeah. Didn't know Jim Carrey did game development. 2H Strike. Thank you. Yeah. Who's there? There you go. Let me show you something. There you go. There's my my Jim Carreys. Yeah, you're not the first person. And it's funny because actually my wife, she gets so offended, right? She'll go, you don't look anything like Jim Carrey. Well, you know, I got a bunch of people that disagree with you. There's somewhat of a resemblance, though. Yeah. If you go back to the 80s, then it was definitely dead on. But, you know what? I'm sorry. Hold on. Just to defend myself at this point. Ah. Images. Wait. Seriously? No, he looks like my dad. Come on, guys. Come on, throw me a bone here. I mean, that's what I look like if I'm like in one of those, like, you know, military training wind tunnel things. You know, but yeah. Yeah, 1990s. Okay. How about this? Once bitten. Images. There you go. So I look like Jim Carrey from 20 years ago. There you go. Okay, now this is kind of tragic. This is Jim Carrey from 1984, and yes, I do kind of still look like him there. But what's even worse is that I basically have the same haircut as him from 1984. Yeah. All right. So yeah, that okay. That one I can, like, you know, I can stomach a little bit better. Here you go. There. If I had the hairline, if it was a little lower, right? There. So, great. So I look like a mid-20 Jim Carrey. That I can live with. But if I look like if you guys think I look like that, now we got problems. No. Just no. Just no. No, actually, let's see. Actually, when I was in high school, the new beard, when did it grow? Hey, Z-Doctor! Message missed, feels bad. Oh, what'd I miss? Yo, hey! There it is, sorry. Z-Doctor, how's it going, buddy? Welcome. Alright, so I used to hear this. You know, maybe not quite as much now, but, oh, great. Now he's doing more clips. Great. But yeah, back when I was like in college or like in high school, you know, when 21 Jump Street was on, I used to hear that sometimes too. But yeah. Yes. Happy New Year to everyone here, man. Happy New Year. If you've already had it, congratulations. Welcome to 2019. For those of us that haven't quite gotten there yet, Happy New Year very soon, right? Stream's growing. Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah. Thanks for everyone hanging out. And yeah, am I working? No, I'm getting compared to Jim Carrey. Which, I mean, that's fine if it's like, you know, 1990s Jim Carrey, not the grizzle old dude. Hey, OP Scripter, thanks for the follow, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. And see, I know what you guys are doing. You're distracting me because I told you that I would not wrap up my stream today until I actually got these buttons working. So now you guys are intentionally throwing Jim Carrey references up there to try and make sure that I don't actually finish this. That's just, you guys are being mean. Alright, so what I need to do is modify this script so it references that one I just made. And where is that guy? Select the icon. There it is. Tell your wife, we're spending New Year's Eve with our viewers. Bring the booze. Yeah, might have a hard time getting that to fly. But, you know, if you want, I'll ask her to come in here and try and sell her on the idea. But, yeah, I can tell you right now, non-starter. Alright. Alright, so I need that script. So that was icon selection bridge. Icon bridge script. If anyone passes out, we get a doctor in the house too. That's right, man. We got Z-Doctors in the house. I'd be passed out too. Oh, physician heal thyself, right? There you go, man. Perfect example. So you say public icon script. I'm catching up to you. Yeah, and I'm not doing the I'm not doing the daily 12 million hour broadcast yet either. Do you do HTML games as well? I'm not into game development, but I'm assuming that is not that. No, I'm using Unity, and unfortunately right now the HTML support is kind of crappy. The WebGL version works okay. But the thing about Unity's WebGL games is, number one, they're extremely large, right? For all intents and purposes, they're glorified PC games. And number two, they will not run on mobile devices. If you go to a web page, like I have Volley Village, I have a WebGL version. If you try and access it from a mobile device, it'll tell you, yeah, we're not going to support this, but you can try anyways. And you plug it, you hit it, and it shows just a gray screen. So... yeah, HTML is web page development. Well, yeah, but I think he's talking about like the HTML, like WebGL games. I think HTML5 games. But the good news is that Unity is finally working on that. So I think some of the 2019 releases will have better HTML5 support for like what do they call them, the instant games. So once those actually start coming out and once that is actually a rock solid piece of software, I would actually look into that and start playing with some instant games, I think, in the future. But for the time being, no, actually, I really don't. I did play with actually Game Maker for a little while, because there's a project that I was pursuing that required to be run on mobile, and unfortunately it never materialized, but I did play with it, but that's it. So no, right now, no HTML5 game stuff as of the moment. Alright, so then he is there, so if I come back here, that should pop up. And where's that script? He's right there. So if I grab him and drag him on there, that should work. There he goes. Yeah, sure. OP Scripter, yeah, absolutely, man. To be fair, there are HTML5 games now that run in browsers. I've seen some cool prototypes. Yeah, and I mean, it can be done, but it will not, I mean, at least on the Unity side, you can't run off of a phone. It has to be off of PC and a browser, that kind of thing. Or HTML5 Canvas is doable, but not widely supported yet. Yeah. And, I mean, yeah, I think Unity knows that they've sort of dropped the ball on that. If, you know, I've referenced before that I went to the Unity Unite and went to some of those talks, and it definitely looks like they're playing catch-up, and I think they're really going to make a much more solid effort to try and get that stuff up and working, and can't be soon enough for me. I hope it's in 2019. I hope it's a feature that they actually do implement soon, and it doesn't drag out for a long time. Okay, let me drop him back into place like that, and save the prefab like that. Alright, and then this guy I'm going to hide. There. So now that first button, in theory, it might... Oh, but it actually doesn't do it yet, does it? So I gotta actually get to the code for that, don't I? Okay. So it's gonna be like too deep, but that's good enough. Icon selected. Oh, let me do it that way. I'll just pipe it through. So the bridge will actually send it through and then send it on to the one I want. Would you say if young Jim Carrey did game development, he would be a splitting image? Well, okay, you know, here's the thing. Jim Carrey was in a TV series called Duck Factory, where he was an animator, okay? And I've been doing animation for 20 years, so in that way, we're kind of like kindred spirits, right? Does that kind of count? It was actually a funny TV show back in the day. I haven't watched it for decades. If I watch it now, I might look and kind of go, yeah, it's not nearly as funny as I thought it was. But, okay. You know, so when I meet Jim Carrey, I'll ask him that someday. That's it. You gotta cosplay as Ace Ventura one day as you work on Volley Village. You know, I threatened to actually cosplay as Marty McFly. You know, because I get that a lot too, at least in the voice, right? When I do the, Doc, are you trying to tell me? You know, when I start doing that, right? So I do actually have the whole Marty McFly outfit with the glasses and even the Casio watch. But Jim Carrey confirmed. My girlfriend will never let me watch you if you start doing Marty. No? Oh, what she hates? Oh, no, don't tell me she, like, hates Back to the Future or hates Michael J. Fox. Or just too annoying. Or all the above. Alright. Select icon tile. So, let me bring this back out, because I gotta, like, pipe it through two scripts to get it to where I want it to go, since I don't want to repeat that same search 25 times. So we come back and drag this out one more time. Actually, I guess I don't have to do that, do I? I just need this script that's on the button. It's right here. Alright, select the icon. Icon selected. Or I could go straight to the bridge, couldn't I? I could do it that way. Okay, so I do actually need that. So if I come back here and I say on the button On finish. Get component. Oh, wait, what the heck? Where's my bridge? Start icon. Oh, I put it in the wrong place, didn't I? Oops, I don't need that here. I need that over on the bridge. Of course. That's what I wanted. Nah, I'm sure she finds you funny, but the squeaky dialogue. Yeah, and the more tired that I get, the more I'm talking, right? The voice starts to go, and then it's, you know, I've had a couple of people mention that before. It's like, ooh, boy, the cracking voice, you know? Yeah, it's like I'm still hitting puberty or something like that, but, you know, I mean, it's just, I don't know how Doctor does it, man. Z-Doctor, he, you know, since he streams, what are you up to now? 42 hours a day, I think, Z-Doctor? I mean, that dude, man, I don't know how you can go that long, right, and still have a voice. You know, I mean, I'm like constantly drinking, you know, trying to like keep the throat going. But, you know, as I go on, the more hours I do, you know, I just start like getting that cracked voice sound. Now, so yeah, you may want to keep your girlfriend far away. She may just kind of go, you know what? That's nails on chalkboard. You gotta stop listening to that. You enjoy coding. Yeah. That man is truly hardcore. Extreme hardcore. Alright. So cool. Now that I got that actually set up. Icon selection. Now I should see that icon selected. There it is. Check it out, guys. This is actually going to get close to being correct now. So I'm going to pipe this to him and say icon selected. And then just forward on the same information. Oops. I don't need the ents in there, do I? Like that. That should save that. Just hit 27 subs. Congratulations, man. Wow. That's fantastic. I have 1. But that's great, man. That's awesome. That is truly awesome. 27, man. That's great. So what you're saying is I have to, like, you know, just stop down and like broadcast every day of my life like you. No, can't do it, man. Cannot do it. You're just too hardcore for me. But that's great. Congratulations on 27 subs. That's awesome. Icon selection menu. Icon selected. Just do it this way. Transfer icon request. So it's just piping it through. That should go. Follow your own schedule, man, but be consistent. Yeah, I haven't missed a day yet, man. Knock on wood. But I like this Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. I don't know about you, Z-Doctor, but you know, it's for me, it's a bit of a challenge to be completely in the mindset, you know, and I just, if I'm not constantly conversing, you know, then I can actually be a little more functional, I think. Yeah, because I mean the coding stuff is once again not my strong suit. So the more I can, you know, think about it, the more I can not screw up, I think. But so for me, I think just doing like, you know, 3-4 hours 3 times a week, I think is good. You know, and that gives me the other rest of the time to actually focus and be better sometimes. But I mean, I enjoy doing this. Absolutely love you guys hanging out with me and stuff. But I'm not quite as sharp as when I'm just completely focused and not conversing at the same time. How many subs do I have? I have solamente uno. I have 1 right now, which I cherish. I got a negative. So once on a math test, I asked teacher to evaluate, but I never got an answer. Oh, tip your waitresses. Try the veal. I'll be here all week. Okay. Let's see. Did I actually fix this? Did I get this working? Here we go. What do you think? Drum roll. Customize. And whoops, it didn't like it. What did we miss? Find select icon menu. Menu. So that's correct. Yes. Select get component icon selection menu. That's weird. Why did it not find it? Let's see. I'm sure you're get hit by the sub bug, man. I have to go for now. Do errands that are delaying my stream. Yep. Z Doctor, buddy. Thanks for lurk mode on. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. No worries. Happy shopping and happy broadcasting, man. And happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, buddy. And I'll catch up with you soon. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. Alright, so why did it actually error out there? I remember back in high school, I used to annoy my teacher so much, I barely scored a 65% on a test, but she scaled it down to like 63. Said nope. A math class. Suddenly does a drum roll on keyboard. Alright, so it's object reference. That's bizarre. Why would it not find that? Did I mistype it? Let me check one more time. Icon menu. Right. There he is. Grab that. Drop it in here. Oh, I did. What did I... Oh, see, look at that. The missing T. The missing T. That bit me right there, man. New York education system. Teachers have personal vendettas against students sometimes. Wow, that sucks, man. Yeah, I've felt that before too. I've had teachers that were overly lenient with some of the students and just, yeah, pick some of them out, kind of going, yeah, I'm going to destroy you. I had to write a song about it, you know. All we are is just bricks in the wall. You! Yes, you! Stand still, laddie! Wait, is my audio going to get blocked for that since I was like, you know, mimicking? Yeah, I've had some wonderful teachers, but I've also had a couple that have scarred me for life. I did, you know, and it's funny you mention that because I do, and this would literally be, oh geez, man, we're talking like over 40 years ago, right? And I don't remember what I did. I was always a terrible student, right? And I was always acting out, and I got detention. And the problem was that as the end of day came and my teacher had me after class in detention, and I remember that I was getting picked up by a family member, like my grandmother, something like that, right? Not my parents. And so that was a situation where they were there to pick me up, and I was leaving, right? And then my teacher's like, no, he's in detention. It's like, no, the grandmother's here. The kid is going with his grandmother. And the teacher looked at me, right, with dead eyes, and she said, you're going to pay for this. And it's like, I mean, I was like 5-year-old, 6-year-old kid, man. You know? And when you're like, just like looking at, you know, a 5-year-old kid's eyes and going, you're going to pay for this. I mean, dude, we're talking decades later, and that's still stuck with me. You know? Let's see. Over here. In math class, I used to annoy my teacher by saying phrases like, can we please have my presence silently given the permission to remove myself from the versatility of this annoying person so that my soul can fly free to a... I'm sure the teachers just love that. They're kind of going, oh, you're one of those. It's going to be a long semester. Oh, hey, Canadian Sean. Thanks, man. Appreciate the kind words. Here, I'll give you a quick rundown. Apologies to everyone else that's seen it before. Imagine Angry Birds and Battleship mixed together, right? So the gist of it is you target like Angry Birds, right? Drag your finger back. And what you're doing is you're aiming for these bouncing buildings. Because the bouncing buildings actually power the force field that you see on the other side there. Ooh, crap. So if you knock out all the buildings, force field goes down, you can hit the catapult, and it's game over, right? Except for I'm missing everything. Feels amazing, man. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. And you can see the AI, the computer, has actually sent out some villagers to repair buildings. You could do that, but the catch is, the more guys you send out, the fewer are left on your catapult, so the reload times will increase. Oh, and he's going for this power-up. This power-up here, whoever shoots it, scores it for 15 seconds. Oh, which he just did. So for 15 seconds, he has a cloud bank. So I'm just kind of shooting into the wind, guessing, but I have a kind of rough idea where stuff is. So I'm still hitting stuff. Because I've played this game too much, of course, but I'm still missing one of them. Oh, there it is. Teachers hate me. Hated me. I had some of those too, man. I had some teachers that definitely had it out for me. So you can see that, okay, get this last one. There you go. And then I can go after that, hit the catapult, and it's game over. There you go. So in the game, you can actually switch out the villagers. You can win coins and actually unlock additional villagers. It doesn't really change the gameplay. It's much more of a cosmetic change. And I say it's Angry Birds meets Battleship. I say Battleship because you can actually come in here into the editor and actually customize the layout. So you can put buildings wherever you want. You can hit in random, or you can actually do a clear and just place everything one by one, just like that, right? And then once you get everything in place, you hit, let me get a better one. Let me get a good layout here. That's pretty, no, let me try it. There, that's good. Hit save, hit a slot, and then it's saved. So yeah, and then the characters, as I told you about here, the villagers. You start with just the regular warrior guy, and you can unlock these additional characters. And you can see there's a slight change in performance, but it really isn't anything significant. It's much more of a cosmetic thing. I'm not a fan of pay-to-win games, so this is very much the same kind of concept. And the launcher as well. You start off with the catapult, but you can unlock these other characters. And once again, doesn't change the gameplay. Just a matter of you can win more coins, and these guys have some funny animations to them. Is it available on Steam? Thought about adding online multiplayer. Yeah, online multiplayer does exist right now. I'll show you that here. So here's an online game. And tell you what, I'll fire up a second iteration real quick. Documents, so you can see builds PC. I'm not. The game isn't released yet. I'm still trying to finish everything up. But I'll start initially. I'll be starting with a iOS and Android release, and I want to do a desktop version after as well. But at least initially, it's going to be iPhone and Android. But see, once that starts up, there it goes. Okay, so then here we go. So this is online game right here. So if I hit 25 there, 25 there, these guys should find each other. There you go. So now these two guys are playing each other, right? So this is an online game. I mean, they're on the same machine, obviously, but you can actually see. I mean, I could be anywhere in the world, right? Obviously, the computer doesn't know that it's on the same machine. But if we fire, boom, there you go. There it is. So, online multiplayer. Excuse me. And then if I hit quit, I'll just tuck that away. And then it looks for a heartbeat, and if it sees the other player doesn't respond after a certain time, it assumes that the person did exit. Because sometimes if you quit too quick, the message doesn't get across. But there you go. And then you get to see the response here. There you go. And then the villagers get chased off by the sharks. Excuse me. So, there you go. Very polished game. Thank you, man. Zero pay to win. Characters with nice animation. Pretty awesome gameplay like Battleship meets Angry Birds. Thanks. Thanks, Doom White, for the plug there. A good idea. Mobile market is probably bigger. Yeah, and it's also because I'm going for these cartoony graphics. And once you go to PC, there's sort of a level of expectation in terms of what the graphic quality should be. So, and this is my 6th game. So I've just been focusing on mobile. But this one, I think, would actually translate pretty well. So that's why I want to do that. And also, I got to make sure that I come up with a way to make sure that the game isn't easily hackable, right? On the PC side. On iOS and Android, it's much harder to, hack the games. But for desktop, it's obviously much easier. 6th game. Yes. You know what? Here you go. I'll do my blatant plugs now. Hang tight, guys. Excuse me. So, if you'd like to try the game out, if you have an Android, did you do the modeling, rigging animations yourself? Yes, with a caveat. Here, let me do this. So if you have an Android device, you can actually try the game out in beta right now. If you don't have an Android device, and I will answer your question in just a second, but I'm on a roll. So you can come to my webpage, scaryrobot.com, and you can actually play a slightly older version of it. I haven't updated it lately, sorry. But you can play it on a web browser, the Volley Village game. Excuse me. Sorry, talking too much. And then finally, let me add this too. And if you want to give a chat with me offline, you can hit me up on Discord. So to answer your question, yes, I am a one-man development team. what you see in front of you basically is me. The one exception is the character designs. I did some characters that I was not really totally happy with, so I farmed out to a very talented artist named Daniel Thomas, and Daniel was nice enough to let me hire him to come up with some better character designs. So he actually designed the villagers, the artwork for the villagers, as well as these guys. And then I modeled it. Unfortunately, I don't have the cash at this point to hire him to build everything out for me. So I ended up reluctantly building it all myself. Canadian Sean did a follow. Thank you, Canadian Sean. Thank you so much, buddy. Thanks, man. But like I said, if you want to give it a try, definitely go to the webpage. You can actually do it there. He did a great job with the characters. He did, didn't he? Well, dude, Daniel Thomas is an amazingly talented artist. I've used him on a couple of my games before. And I look forward to the idea that, you know, I get a game successful enough that I can just, like, throw a bunch of money at him and just say, dude, just go work your wonders, you know? So, but yeah, Nerdit, here's another one. Oh, Nerdit's throwing all these little quips out here. I would like to enlarge my internal intellect that is subsidied in a vacancy of my neural organ called my brain. My education is of the utmost importance to my mental well-being, and so I try to indulge myself in meaningful thought about the visible topic of which are educating me, and so that I may use it later on the era of my life when it most needed. Dude, you should be writing small print for, like, companies. You know? That is classic small printism if I ever saw it. But yeah, Canadian Sean, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for the follow. So yeah, but pretty much everything else you see here is just me plugging away. The game is about 1.5 years worth of development, stretched out over 3 years. And my to-do list is like just down to a couple of remaining items. So I'm looking forward to getting it out the door and letting you guys play with it properly. And I was trying to work on this last thing. And then you can also unlock these icons. And this is the thing that I'm working on currently. One of the few things that I have not finished implementing yet. And so let's see if I do this. Boom, boom. And if I come up to here and I hit him. And did it do anything? There. Transfer icon request to select icon. And that is in the selection menu. That's it. That was what I was trying to accomplish. Sweet. That is in the icon selection menu. Yes. Selection menu. Sweet. Alright. So, as I was talking about, so this section right here is a prefab. Right? So this prefab gets loaded, and I want it to talk to this menu that's already loaded full time. So it was easier, rather than have each one of these guys point to this guy and do a find, game object find, I threw a script on here, right, that its sole purpose was just to go find this menu, and then all these buttons can just talk. So you click a button, it actually talks to the bridge script, and the bridge script actually talks to that menu, and that will actually send the information off and process. So yay, I finally got that addressed. That's cool. And I guess I could do a quick thing too and do a check to see what that value is. So the way I would do that, excuse me, let me bring that back out, the prefab that is. I'm going to move him up here out of the way so I can see him a little clearly. Alright, that. So let me grab his stuff here. Oh wait, that should already have the script attached, yes? Yeah, he does. So I just need the button information. UI tween. Oh, actually it's not sending it, is it? Oh, crud. Uh-oh. I thought I had that set up correctly. That should be coming off of myself, so let me set that up again. Section tile, that's the villager number. Oh, and I need the island too. I forgot I need to pass the island information as well. Oh. But then that'll be on the main script, so I won't worry about that. Villager number. followed by the pose number. Alright. Apply. When I grew up, I'd probably laugh and get in trouble myself. Alright, yeah, so that should be 01. So that was actually not totally correct. Yeah, filter number, pose number 01. So, apply. Oops. Let me reset this so it's in the proper place. Now I hit apply to that prefab. Knock them out. And then hopefully when I click on the button, it should come up as villager 0 icon 1. And if that happens, then we'll consider this a win. And I might wrap down for the day here. I might call it, let's see. Clear, hit that, and it says 01. I did it, guys. In spite of all that chat, in spite of all your best attempts to keep me distracted with the Jim Carrey discussions, I did manage to actually get that wired up correctly, which is good. Okay, so what I got going here now is that it's actually going off to the main script, and the main script will check to see the status of the button to see if I can actually select it and apply it to here. So that's cool. And then I gotta, now that this one button is set up as a template, I have to apply that to all the other 20 buttons below it, which is gonna get tedious. Our favorite Canadian actor? Yeah, I had a discussion before. They were saying that I look like Jim Carrey, which my wife does not appreciate when people say that. But you know, present day Jim Carrey, no. But the 1990s Jim Carrey, okay. People say I love the Cable Guy. A true diehard Cable Guy follower. That's great. Yeah, you like your Jim Carrey dark. I see some Jim Carrey in you. Yeah, okay, I'll do it one last time. And then I'm going to wind down, guys. Because you can hear the voice, man. I'm starting to lose the voice here. Jim Carrey. Yeah, Once Bitten. That was a good example. So, there you go. Wait, this way? Like that. There you go. If I just parted the hair more in the middle, kind of winged it. Which I did, yeah, I did the winged hair back in the 80s, right? There you go. There. So, yep. There's my Jim Carrey. Same eyes and hairline. Yeah. Pretty much. And I had the same hairstyle in the 80s too. A million years ago. He's a couple years older than me, but we're in the general same generation. Alright. So, yeah, so one more time. I'm going to throw this out there. If you guys want to say hello to me outside of the streaming time, there is the Discord. So please, guys, if you want to, man, hang out with me on Discord. I'm always on that. I got it on my phone, so if you guys want to chat or give me a shout, I'm accessible there. If you want to check out my other 5 games, most of them are still available. Some of them are so outdated that I know that Apple is starting to threaten to pull a couple of them down off the store, so I need to go back and update them. But because they were written so long ago, as I mentioned before, I'd have to do an entire remake of the entire game, because some of the plugins are discontinued. Some of them are written in Unity script, which means I'd have to revamp them and rewrite them all in C#. So that's why they're kind of neglected. Cable Guy was great. There you go, man. You got a fellow Cable Guy fan right there. But yeah, just noticed that comment. So yeah, so either come to my website if you want to check it out there. And then one final plug too, if you want to give it a try on Android, and I will do iOS version too. Once I get these last things dialed in, I will be adding Game Center, and I will be doing iOS builds, so I will have that available for test flight. So all you Apple users, don't fret, man. I will have a version for you guys to try out as well pretty soon. This thing looks like it's finally coming together. As you saw before, you know, this is my, here you go. This is my to-do list. and you can see I'm literally down to just a couple items. Although, I'll put Google Play back on there, since that apparently is broken. And I even say Game Center, since I gotta add the Game Center stuff. So, oops, Center. There you go. But, yeah, so, home stretch, guys. Because in case you guys hadn't seen this before, I will scroll down here and show you. This is my bug list here. So, there you go. Starting here, the done, all these things. This is what I've been doing for the last year and a half for the development, is just fixing all that and adding all those features. So, that list compiled down to just these 3 things remaining. You can see why I'm kind of getting stoked, because it's like I'm like getting so freaking close to getting this out the door. But there you go, man. That is what I need to do for the beta, and then I'll do some last minute tweaks, make sure everything else is behaving, let you guys test it, find the things that I missed, like Styx did. He did a good job of finding a couple of bugs, which are squished. But there's a lot of fancy task management software, but in the same, all I need is Notepad. Amen. Yeah, and I just upgraded Notepad++. I was using Notepad up until a point where Z-Doctor was giving me grief over that. Calling me out, calling me terrible names. So I upgraded this Notepad++. I'm really styling now. Alright, guys. I think that's going to do it for me today, man. We're 10 to 5. So, go spend some time with my wife, go celebrate New Year's, go find myself jumping into 2019. But let me just say thanks again. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, guys. It's been, so much fun having you guys just chat away with me. It makes it so much more enjoyable. Happy New Year to you. Yeah, Canadian Sean, Happy New Year to you as well. I'm not sure where you are in the Canadian spectrum, but I'm guessing you're probably already in 2019 or dangerously close to it. If not, Happy New Year. If so, Happy 2019. But absolutely, thank you guys. And thank you for the new follows. I really do appreciate it, man. It is so nice, you guys. So, thanks, guys. And I will be back on Wednesday. I'll be back here. I do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday broadcasts. I start at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Translate that to wherever you are in the world. But yeah, thanks again for hanging out. And I hope you guys can come out again on Wednesday. If not, you can always find the streams. They're on Twitch. If you want to find the older stuff, you can check me out on YouTube. Oh, I should do the YouTube too, shouldn't I? I'm sorry. Let me do that as well. Let me make sure I got the link actually set up right. I think it's Robot Games. Let me make sure that is correct. And if that is, I will post that here as well. Let's see. Yep. So if you want to see the older streaming videos or some of the other gameplay videos, you can go to my YouTube channel for Scary Robot Games. And please have the quality content coming in 2019. Thanks, Doomwide. Dude, I really do appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, guys. So, I hope you guys can make it back Wednesday. If not, hopefully you guys make it back soon, because you guys make it fun. But until then, you guys take care, and I will see you guys soon, alright? Adios.